Welcome to the NCAA FCS Championship first round coverage on ESPN+. Today from Villanova, Pennsylvania, the Wildcats host the Eastern Kentucky Colonels in the first meeting of all time between these two programs, and the winner will move on to the quarterfinals to take on the number 6 seed, Incarnate Word. They've had a bye here in the first round of the playoffs, and they await the winner next Saturday, December 7th in San Antonio. And we welcome you to Villanova Stadium on this chilly Saturday afternoon, 35 degrees here at game time, final day of November. Mike Corey alongside Jordan Reed. Both of these two teams back in the postseason. How have they gotten to this point?
Defense, defense, defense. That has been the name of the game for both of these teams so far this season. I think we could be in for a low-scoring affair in this one. And then starting off with just Eastern Kentucky. We talk about a team that was ranked 120th in the country a season ago. That has flipped all the way around to 20th so far this season. So they have done a good job of flipping over that side of the ball. And then with Villanova, they have 8 seniors starting on that side of the ball. So a team that does not make a lot of mistakes and has been able to force a lot of turnovers so far this year.
We'll see how both of these programs have kind of neutralized some of the great running backs we have in this game. Joshua Carter has led things for Eastern Kentucky this 2024 season.
He has been the engine of this Eastern Kentucky offense, a player that has gained over 1,000 yards so far this season. He can run in between the tackles. He can run on the perimeter. A tough, hard-nosed runner. Expect to see a lot of number 8 in this game plan for the Eastern Kentucky offense. He is a player that's going to be featured a lot today. And then on the opposite sideline, we have David Avid of Villanova, a player that was recently named as the CAA Offensive Rookie of the Year, another player that had almost 800 yards this season. Number 24 is going to be featured early on for the Wildcats. I expect him to get a lot of touches.
All right, just about ready for the opening kickoff of today's game. Second time in the last 3 years that Eastern Kentucky is back in the playoffs. Fourth time in the last 6 for the Villanova Wildcats here as the number 11 seed hosting this game here today. And it was Villanova that won the toss, and they have deferred, so Eastern Kentucky will receive to begin this game. Ethan Getman will kick off for the Wildcats. And it's Jalen Montgomery back to return for Eastern Kentucky. And he's going to take it out from a couple yards deep in his own end zone. Montgomery tackled down at the 20-yard line. Matt Morrissey, the starting quarterback for the Eastern Kentucky Colonels. Tough, hard-nosed player, transfer out of Western Illinois. What do you like about his game so far this season, Jordan?
Yeah, a player that he's an extremely good decision maker. He's not going to put the ball in harm's way. He's perfect for what they want to do offensively. And they have a lot of weapons that they like to get the ball to. But Morrissey is that guy. He's more of a point guard type of distributor. As you can see, he has a 60% completion percentage. So he's really efficient with where he goes with the ball.
First play of the game for Eastern Kentucky, a handoff to Joshua Carter, and then Nova defense ready for that. Shane Hartzell and company on the tackle for the Wildcats after a short pickup on first down.
Just a simple inside zone play. Just once again, as we talk to both of these coaches throughout the week, the earlier that first series is always a fill-out session. You want to see exactly the type of game plan that these teams are going to have for you. So expect to see a lot of simple plays early on.
Second down and 8, Wildcats. Marcus Calwise Jr. is in motion. The handoff again. Carter, and he breaks off the right side. And here he goes, Joshua Carter. He is going to go the distance for the touchdown. Eastern Kentucky, second play of the game. And he scores it. 14th rushing touchdown of the season. What happened here, Jordan?
So much for a fill-out session, right? How about a heck of a block right there by the quarterback, Matt Morrissey, on the safety. The defense just over-pursued. It was a simple inside zone play, but it was a great job of him cutting the ball back. But the difference between good and great running backs is the guys that can finish those long runs with 6 points. That's what Joshua Carter was able to do. A great start for Eastern Kentucky.
Carter's previous long of the season rushing was of 28 yards. That one goes for 77 yards on the second play of the game. for the touchdown. Patrick Nations adds the extra point, and 56 seconds in, it's 7-0 Eastern Kentucky.
Once again, just a simple inside zone handoff. He did a great job of cutting the ball back, but I want to give a shout out to Matt Morrissey right there, because he went up the field and actually got a block on the safety to help spring the run for 77 yards. What a great start for Eastern Kentucky, especially being on the road. You want to go out and have a fast start to the game, and that's what they were able to do.
An incredible start for head coach Walt Wells and company, who's been at Eastern Kentucky since 2019. Former offensive lineman back at Austin Peay in the late 80s, and this is the start that this team needed, and it's a historic program. They've won 2 national championships back for the late Hall of Famer Roy Kidd, but that was in 1979 and 1982. There's a lot at stake on the line today for Eastern Kentucky, a team that hasn't won a playoff game now, Jordan, since 1994.
I was only 3 years old then, so that's
yeah.
a very long time.
Their last postseason appearance in the span of 94 to 2014, they've lost 8 straight in the postseason. Jabril Mace on the return here for Villanova, and he gets an excellent return up close to the 40-yard line. Jackson House on the tackle for Eastern Kentucky. So really good field positioning to start for the Wildcats, but in a 7-0 hole here just over a minute in. Connor Watkins is the starting quarterback, the graduate student out of Williamsport, Pennsylvania.
A player that the coaching staff called their graduate assistant on the field, a player that's been in the program for 6 years. They've been able to really help groom him in this system. He's been in the same system his entire time with the Wildcats, and you're going to see him point people in the right direction. He's been the ultimate engineer in this offense and the orchestrator so far this season.
David Abbott starts in the backfield, and we just talked about in the open. He gets the first call of the game and a couple yards up to the 42-yard line, and that's about it. So each team starting off with 2-yard runs on first down. Braden Sullivan on the tackle, so they should probably go for a 58-yard touchdown here on this one, right, Jordan?
Yeah, that's how this game is going so far, right?
Watkins, who's thrown for over 1,800 yards this season. He's also pretty efficient on the ground as well, too. Jordan, 3rd leading rusher on this Villanova team. First pass out to Lucas Kopecki on the catch. Couple yards shy of the first down. Jordan Thomas makes the tackle for Eastern Kentucky. Going to be a 3rd and 2.
And this is a very RPO-centric offense for the Wildcats, and what you'll notice is that the quarterback has free reign to throw what's called free access throws on the outside. So while the play may be designed to be a run, he has free reign if he sees free access on the outside just to steal 4 or 5 yards.
Third down and 2. It's Abbott. He's got the first down, and he breaks into Eastern Kentucky territory down to the 44-yard line. Cam Jr. on the tackle. And Mark Ferrante in his 8th season as head coach, his 38th overall with this Wildcat program. He's been there through everything and has this team back in the postseason, 4th time in the last 6 years. They're the 2009 national champions. First and 10 from the 44 of Eastern Kentucky. Another quick pass to the outside is caught. Sliding down again was Kopecki for the catch.
They went empty formation right there. Empty just meaning that he has 5 wide receivers, and that really forces the defense to show their hands. So really trying to figure out once again during that fill-out session how they were going to react to an empty formation.
Second down and 4. Isaiah Ragland is the running back now to the right of Watkins. He's got it, and the Colonels are ready for it. They're going to bring him down. No gain. Maddox Marcellus, who has been outstanding, the leading tackler, number 11 for Eastern Kentucky.
Eastern Kentucky's doing a good job of swarming to the ball. And we know this is a very fast and physical defense led by their defensive front. That is the strongest part of this defense, along with safety, Mike Smith Jr.
Jordan going for it here. They're checking, 3rd down and 4 as they have to get to the 34-yard line here for Villanova on their opening series of the game. 4 minutes gone by. 7-0 Colonels on a 77-yard touchdown run by Carter to begin the game. Watkins, he's in trouble. He's going to be sacked. Now it's going to be 4th down. Jeremiah Bailey was in there for Eastern Kentucky.
Once again, the strength of this Eastern Kentucky defense is their defensive front. That was a great job by Jeremiah Bailey, making the quick swim move and the arm over, getting pressure on the quarterback, Connor Watkins. And that's what you want to do when you play Villanova. You want to force them to pass the ball down the field. That's something that really hasn't been their strong suit so far this season.
Jalen Montgomery awaits the Ethan Getman punt here for Villanova. And was able to get into Eastern Kentucky territory. A high snap. But they end up having to punt, and a very short kick, and a fair catch is going to be called for. It's going to work out, though, here for Villanova. They needed that. And they'll back up the Colonels to their own 10-yard line. We'll be back with more right after this. Chattanooga, Tennessee, back in 2009. Villanova winning the national championship. Took on Montana. Chris Farmer had a 3-yard touchdown catch from Chris Whitney as Villanova went up 16-14. And then on a 4th and 1 from the 3-yard line, the great Matt Caesar with a touchdown run makes it 23-14. Villanova goes on to win it for head coach Andy Talley, the all-time winningest coach in Villanova NCAA history. And that was in 2009, 23-21 over Montana for their lone national championship. Eastern Kentucky with a 7-0 advantage back on offense, and Braden Latham gets the carry here, and he's had a really special season as well for these Colonels. Jordan, over 600 yards rushing as well, to kind of complement to Joshua Carter.
Yes, he has, and you have to have that great compliment back when you have a workhorse, just because they're going to need a break at some point. Sometimes you can't just have those guys on the field all the time. But it does open up the offense a little bit more when Latham is in there, just because when Carter is in there, a lot of teams like to converge on him.
Villanova showing some pressure, but it's to Latham, and he's going off the left side. Another nice hole here for Eastern Kentucky, and he gets tripped up across the 20-yard line, but it's a 1st down. Ethan Potter saved what could have been more again here for the Colonels.
Yeah, the defensive end just jumped inside for some reason there, and Latham was able to gain the edge and ultimately able to get outside and circle the defense. Defensive end has to keep contained outside, and when he goes back inside, it leaves a soft edge for the running back to turn the corner, and that's what happened there.
It's a 10-yard run to a 1st down and 10 here for Eastern Kentucky from their own 21-yard line. Morrissey over the middle, the catch is made, and that was Marcus Calwise Jr., the true freshman, and a season that has been outstanding. Over 500 yards receiving and 4 touchdowns for the freshman from Covington, Georgia.
It's very rare to see receivers come in and contribute right away like Calwise has done, especially as a true freshman. As you mentioned, 40 catches, 507 yards, and 4 touchdowns. I think he's their 2nd best offensive player behind Joshua Carter.
It's a 2nd down and 2 here for Eastern Kentucky, and it's back to Latham, and he's taken down in the backfield. That's Shane Hartzell that got in there for Villanova.
Yeah, so what happens with defensive coordinators, the one thing they want to do is stop the run. So what happens is they're going to start sending linebackers and start sending safeties, just because when you're not able to stop the run, it opens a lot of things up offensively. So what Villanova wants to do, they're going to start probably sending a little bit more pressure just to stop the run, as you saw in that last play.
Hartzell with a couple tackles today. You saw it, 106 for the season to lead Villanova. Now in a 3rd and short, the Wildcats stop Latham again. And it's going to be 4th down, so they tried a similar play here, and the defense with Capri Martin and Chuck Smith were having none of it for Villanova. There's Jacob Baker, the punter, and Tanner Maddox is back to return for the Wildcats. going to come to a stop at the 31-yard line. And the Wildcats have a nice job on the defensive end.
And going to the break, Eastern Kentucky still leads over Villanova 7-0.
Eastern Kentucky, 1979 for the legendary Hall of Famer Roy Kidd, whose team won the championship over Lehigh. Went 11-2 that year, and then they hoist him up once again back in 1982. They went undefeated, 13-0. They beat Delaware for the national championship of FCS, their 2 national titles. They went to 4 straight title games, Jordan, from 1979 to 1982, lost to Boise State and Idaho State in 80 and 81. Flag down here as it goes to Jalen Sanchez for Villanova. Gonna lose 5 yards in the play. We'll check the call here. Cam Jr. was in on the play for Eastern Kentucky.
So we may get an illegal formation here.
Jason Soistman is our referee here today from Villanova. So the illegal shift, and Eastern Kentucky declines it. It's a 5-yard loss anyhow, back to the 26-yard line, 2nd and 15.
Villanova tried to go with a jet sweep right there, and usually what happens on a jet sweep is you don't block the end man on the line of scrimmage because you're dependent upon the speed of that guy outrunning the defensive end, and Jeremiah Bailey was able to crash the party there.
Watkins. Pressure, he's hit as he throws, and it's picked off by Darian Baker for Eastern Kentucky. Tipped by Jeremiah Bailey, and Baker with the interception, his 2nd of the season, and the Colonels are in business here.
This is just a great job by Darian Baker of getting pressure around the right tackle, Ryan Cregan right there. He not only was able to do that, but also he gets the hat trick, he gets the interception as well. What a great start for Eastern Kentucky, right? It's exactly what they needed. When you're on the road, you get an explosive touchdown, then you come back and you get a turnover right after that.
I mean, no doubt, Jordan. I mean, they just kind of collapsed that pocket. I could kind of see it coming, and then the ball popped into the air, and now Eastern Kentucky just outside the red zone here, and it's going to be a throw, and the catch is going to be made by Ron Van Jr. with a flag down. Let's get the call, then go back to that interception. Check it, that was Jackson House there. Shane Hartzell had made the tackle. Let's see on that last play, roughing the passer. That's going to add to this.
Just another look at the interception right here. It actually looks like number 4, Jeremiah Bailey, was the guy that was able to hit Connor Watkins' arm right there. So what a start for this defensive front. Jeremiah Bailey and Darian Baker making some plays very early on in this one.
So just over 6 minutes to play in the first quarter. It's already 7-0 Eastern Kentucky, and now they have 1st and goal from the 10-yard line, and it's going to be Carter. He's going to be taken down for a loss. It's Ty Tren that had made the tackle there for Villanova. It'll be 2nd and goal from the 11.
Once again, defensive coordinator Ross Pennypacker sending some more run blitzes, just because as a defensive coordinator, you're going to hear me say this, he wants to stop the run. If there's one player he's not going to let him beat him today, it is Joshua Carter, especially after that 77-yard explosive run.
2nd down and goal here for Eastern Kentucky from the 11. Morrissey to the end zone, is caught. It's Cal Wise. Touchdown, Colonels.
Then on the flip side, once you run a lot of those blitzes, what happens is you play man coverage behind it. So it's very dependent upon your guys on the back end holding up in man coverage. So while you can send a lot of those run blitzes, but what happens is you have to play man coverage behind it, and you have to be dependable in that part.
Extra point by Patrick Nations is good. And Eastern Kentucky They scored on their opening offensive possession. Then they get the turnover and they score again. It's 14-0 Colonels here in the first.
This Villanova offense has not done so far this season. They've been turnover free in 7 of 12 games this year. So this is an offense that typically does not turn the football over, but this EKU defense was able to get one early in the first quarter.
Fewest in the CAA with just 10 on the season. Windy and cold here today from Villanova. We'll see if the ball stays on the tee. 35 degrees at game time. Patrick Nation's kicking off. Jabril Mace is back to return for the Wildcats. And here he goes from the goal line. Mace diving ahead close to the 30-yard line. And that's where Villanova will take over here. The NCAA FCS championship coverage continues next weekend with second-round coverage beginning Saturday on ESPN+. For more information, visit ncaa.com, the home for all 90 NCAA championships. Villanova, Pennsylvania here today. Villanova Stadium. Wildcats down 2 touchdowns, but it's early. 5 minutes and 14 seconds to play in the first. What are you thinking on this offensive set here, Jordan? They've got Abbott and Mace going to be in the backfield, split backs to the left and right of Watkins.
Don't panic. Just get the ball to your best player, and that's David Abbott. What you don't want to do is panic, create yourself into 3rd and long situations, and then get into some unfamiliar territory, which is passing the ball down the field, which is something Villanova is not prone to do. They are programmed to go through David Abbott as well as Connor Watkins with their strong running game.
Watkins diving ahead for no gain back to the original line of scrimmage. Frank Lee, the 4th, was in there for Eastern Kentucky. 2nd down and 10. Watkins again on the keeper, this time a little bit more daylight as he gets across the 35 to the 36. It's going to set up a 3rd down and 3 here for Villanova.
It's a great job by Watkins right there, not panicking. He wanted to dump the ball in the flat to Jabril Mace right there on the RPO, but he did a great job of staying ahead of the chains and just trying to get positive yardage. But this is a big 3rd and 3 situation for this Villanova offense. You don't want to go 3 and out, especially with the momentum on Eastern Kentucky side.
Down a little bit on 3rd down conversions on the season, just under 38% from the 36. Watkins, pressure, dumps it off. Abbott's got it, got to get to the 39, he does, and more. Nice cutback, and he's in Eastern Kentucky territory. David Abbott finally tackled down inside the 10.
Missed tackles lead to big gains, and that's exactly what happened right there. Jaheim Ward comes up, he doesn't make the tackle, and David Abbott just does what David Abbott does. He goes and he makes big plays, and that's why he's been so successful and special in this offense. There's a reason he was the CAA Offensive Rookie of the Year this year. Plays like that is what he has been able to do consistently for this Wildcats offense all season.
56 yards that time, and now it's Ragland who gets the carry, and he's going to be stuffed. Darian Baker, who had the interception on the previous series, makes the tackle here. And it's going to be 2nd down and goal for Villanova. 3 minutes and 3 seconds to play here in the first quarter of action. So some big plays here in this game already by both teams. A 77-yard touchdown run by Eastern Kentucky in their opening series of the game got them on the board first. Now we just had a 56-yard run by David Abbott. It's 2nd down and goal from inside the 10 for the Wildcats. And they'll stop play here in a timeout is taken by Villanova. Mark Ferrante spent 30 years as the assistant coach from 1987 to 2016. Took over as the head man. And he's been part of all 15 of the program's FCS playoff appearances during his tenure. First meeting ever between these two teams. Eastern Kentucky with that 5-game win streak that they're riding right now. And how about some of the close wins that they've been able to get through, right? It's one of those type of seasons, right, Jordan? You got to have those. And they've had 5 wins that they've got 11 points or less. The reason why they're in the playoffs here today.
Yeah, the trend of their season has been streaky. They start off with 2 losses, then got 3 wins, 2 losses, and now they're on the 5-game winning streak. So they've been a streaky team throughout this season, and that's exactly what their coaching staff was talking about during our meetings throughout the week, is that we're still trying to figure out exactly who we are as a team, just because we went through a rough patch there early on. But during the back stretch of this season, we really have found something that we like with this team, but we're still trying to figure out exactly what we like on both sides of the ball.
Jake Johnson, defensive coordinator for Eastern Kentucky. See if they can come up with a stop here. 2nd down and goal from inside the 10. To the end zone. Incomplete, and a flag is down. Jordan Thomas was defending. They wanted Jalen Sanchez. See if we get pass interference on the defense. That's what the preliminary indication is.
Pass interference, defense number 2. Ball be placed at the 2-yard line, automatic first down.
And they got it on Mike Smith Jr. for Eastern Kentucky.
And that's a big flag for Villanova, just because they go now, they get a fresh set of downs inside of the 5, as opposed to that potentially being a 3rd down in an incomplete pass. So a new set of downs for Villanova here. Let's see if they can cash in on the opportunity.
Brendan Bell in the backfield. And Watkins trying to get rid of it, looking for Abbott as he got hit. And it's incomplete. They brought in some defensive players Villanova has down in these goal line situations. See 28 right there. That's Bell, Brendan Bell, who's a linebacker, who is now in on the offensive side. He actually had a touchdown in the last week to go along with some great defensive plays as well. So keep an eye on 28 for Villanova, along with David Abbott, 24. And see what they do here.
I would be really surprised if these next few plays are not run plays to David Abbott.
They're at the 2, and it is Abbott. You called it, and so did Eastern Kentucky. They're there for the stop, and that was Ryan Jackson, number 97, the nose tackle, and the senior makes the play to force 3rd and goal.
Great play by Ryan Jackson. The one thing you want to do as a defensive lineman on the goal line is create penetration. That's what they were able to do. You want to reset the line of scrimmage, just because you're at the back of your goal line. So you have to figure out a way to penetrate that first level, and that's what they were able to do on that one.
From the 3-yard line now, 3rd and goal here for Villanova. Just under 2 minutes to go in the first. Bell and Hall are in from the defensive side now. 28 and 40 for Villanova. Watkins on the keeper, and he is going to be stopped shy. Braden Sullivan for Eastern Kentucky. It's going to be 4th down and goal now for Villanova. What do you do here, Jordan?
Great job right there by the linebacker, just penetrating through that first level. They tried to go with the option play right there, but they were not able to get it successfully. You want to attack the quarterback there, but this is a big 4th down for Villanova here. They did not hesitate about going for it here. I would be shocked if this is not a play right up the middle to David Abbott.
3rd in the conference on 4th down. You saw it, 10 of 16, 63% of the season. Here we go again. Abbott behind Watkins. It is Abbott. He's going to be hit and taken down. Eastern Kentucky holds. Maddox Marcellus, leading tackler, makes a huge one right there to get it back for his team. They got the pass interference in the end zone and had 1st and goal from the 2, and they could not score.
Now, I said I would be shocked if it's not a play to David Abbott. Now, as an offensive coordinator, you have to know that everybody in the stadium knew that the ball was going to go to number 24 right there. So you want to get a little bit more creative on that one. Give some play action, maybe get a tight end out. I know they're down their 1st string tight end, but maybe figure out or scheme up a creative play to Brendan Bell. We saw him score in a previous game, but everybody in the stadium knew that David Abbott was going to get the ball, and it's clear that EKU knew that as well.
Yeah, I agree with you, Jordan. I mean, that was probably something you wanted to do a little bit more earlier in the set. Now the officials blow the whistle, flags are down, they blow this play dead as they try to get it to Carter. We're under a minute to go here in the first, and Eastern Kentucky has had an awesome first quarter for
Ball
them.
start, offense, number 50. Half the distance to the goal, still first down.
Really, the only mistake is they've gotten a touchdown,
Please
a
reset
turnover,
the game clock
a
to
touchdown,
1 minute, 2 seconds.
and then the turnover on downs, stopping Villanova from the 2-yard line on 4 consecutive plays here. You also got to be careful. Don't want to have any issues this deep in your own territory, of course, as Watkins make it Morrissey's in the middle of his own end zone. They give us to Carter, and he's not going to get much here. Forward progress back to the original line of scrimmage as Shane Hartzell comes in to make his 3rd tackle of the day already for Villanova.
You would like to see Carter be a little bit more urgent right there, especially with your back to your own goal line. You just want to get what you can get and try to give yourself a little bit more wiggle room with them having their backs to the goal line right here, being on about the 1.5-yard line.
Morrissey moves it back to Carter, and this time he will get some more breathing room out across the 5-yard line to the 7. Hartzell again in there on the play for Villanova as the clock winds down here on the first quarter. And that's going to be the end of 1. So Eastern Kentucky
This is the end of the first quarter.
coming here to number 11 Villanova. Carter takes it 77 yards to the touchdown to get the scoring started. They got a turnover, they scored again. It's 14-0 Colonels, second quarter after this. Welcome back to the NCAA FCS Championship first round coverage on ESPN Plus. Today from Villanova, Pennsylvania. It's 14-0 Eastern Kentucky. Winner moves on to take on number 6 seed Incarnate Word next Saturday in San Antonio, Texas. Start of the second quarter here right now. Mike Corey alongside Jordan Reed, and what a first quarter it was for Eastern Kentucky. It's going to try to keep things rolling here to start the second. They've got 3rd down and 6 from their own 7-yard line. High snap, Morrissey hit as he throws, goes sideline, and the catch is dropped. Pass is dropped, incomplete. Looking that time for Caleb Schlachter as Morrissey got hit by Richie Kimmel.
They tried to take a shot down the field right there, which is the right call to me in this situation. Richie Kimmel comes in and gives a shot to Matt Morrissey. So just trying to create some more pressure on Morrissey right there with their back to the goal line. That's a big stop for this Villanova defense, exactly what they needed.
Jacob Baker to punt here for Eastern Kentucky, and Tanner Maddox is back to return. He's at his own 39, make it 44-yard line. A low snap, it hits the turf, and he's taken down. The ball's out of the back of the end zone. Villanova gets the safety. Jason Hall came storming in there, number 40.
Went out of the back of the end zone. There's the safety.
Hit Baker, the ball popped out of the back of the end zone, and Villanova's on the board with 2 points.
It's just a low snap from the beginning, and the kicker, Jacob Baker, just was never able to corral it cleanly. Luckily for him, it goes out the back of the end zone. What would have been a disaster is if Villanova ends up getting a touchdown right there. So it ends up being a safety, but it could have been a touchdown. But regardless, Villanova gets points on the board, which is what they needed.
Well, obviously you would have liked to kick it out of there, of course, but probably not the worst thing in the world, right? Because now you've got the free kick coming here. You got a chance maybe to push him back a little bit deeper and let your defense do some work here, as opposed to giving them a potential short field to work with. Although the Villanova does get the 2 points in the safety, it's now 14-2. 10 seconds into the second quarter. That was the redshirt freshman Jason Hall that made the play there.
And that's the spark that they needed. They needed a spark right there badly. So hopefully Villanova can build off of getting those 2 points.
So they kick it from the 20 now. Patrick Nations and Jabril Mace is back to return. He's going to step up to receive it at about the 13-yard line, 30-yard line, 35, spinning, still on his feet, and tackled down across the 40 by Telly McAllister on special teams for Eastern Kentucky. So still pretty good field position here for Villanova early in the second quarter. So Connor Watkins back on the field for the offense of the Wildcats. And now you talked about Jordan trying to see more of David Abbott, who we've featured at the beginning of the broadcast. The true freshman has rushed for over 800 yards on this season. Let's see what they do here to start from their own 41-yard line. Watkins with a pass, Kopecky and a catch, and pushed out of bounds. Going to be second down and short coming up. Jordan Thomas pushed him out.
And Eastern Kentucky's playing pretty soft on the outside just because the defense is converging really on David Abbott. He wasn't in on that play, but there's a lot of room on the outside for these outside receivers to get some opportunities. So Jalen Sanchez, Lucas Kopecky, I would look for them to be a little bit more heavily involved in the game plan moving forward with so much emphasis on David Abbott and the strong running game.
From the 47, it's second down and 4. They pitch it out here to Isaiah Ragland, and he's taken down. No gain. Cam Jr., among others, in on the scene for Eastern Kentucky.
That was a great play by Cam Jr. right there. When you're running those perimeter runs, you're hoping those perimeter blocks can hold up, but he did a great job of disengaging and coming downhill and making the play right there.
Transfer out of Cincinnati, 5th leading tackler on the team this year for Eastern Kentucky. And can they get a third down stop here? 3rd and 4, Villanova. The pass on the slant. Sanchez caught. He's got a first down. Into Eastern Kentucky territory at the 47, just enough. Thomas again on the tackle, but the chain's going to move.
Just mentioned, there's a lot of airspace on the perimeter of this defense, and that's why I expect Chris Bowden to keep attacking the outside or the edges of this Eastern Kentucky defense. They're very tough on the inside, but there's a lot of room outside on the perimeter. So keep pushing the ball to Jalen Sanchez as well as Lucas Kopecky, just because I believe there's a lot of room outside. There's a lot of one-on-one situations that they could take advantage of.
Kopecky's at the bottom of the screen here on a first down and 10, and it's Ragland on the carry, and he's stuffed right at the line. Brad Gurley, defensive end, was in there. Well, for the most part, this front here, Jordan, for Eastern Kentucky has really done a nice job of kind of limiting the runs.
Yeah, running right into the teeth of that Eastern Kentucky defense. It's just not happening in the first half so far. That's why I said they need to attack more so on the edges and take advantage of the perimeter, just because it's been tough sledding so far up the middle of that EKU defense.
Watkins, pass over the middle is caught. It's Kopecky. And makes a sliding catch for another Villanova first down at the 32-yard line.
And they found something that they like in the passing game. It seems like it's going to be more so of a passing game today for this Villanova Wildcats offense. So Connor Watkins, they're going to have to put the ball in his hands through the air, just because the ground attack has not worked so far against this tough EKU defense. But they found something that they like in this passing game here in the second quarter.
They fake to Abbott. Watkins in some trouble, trying to get out of it, and races inside of the 30-yard line, tackled down to 27, so not bad there with Junior, who makes the tackle, Cam Jr. Gurley had quarterback pressure again for Eastern Kentucky.
And when Watkins pulled the ball, it looked like they ran a slant flat combo behind the inside zone run play to the left. And that's a lot of the options that the quarterback has in this RPO-based offense. But he saw something that he liked, but it was man coverage, and he pulled the ball down. He's seen he had a second reaction that he didn't like, but he ends up getting positive yardage out of it.
Watkins here from the shotgun on a 2nd down and 5, taking a shot for the end zone, and the receiver went down, and here comes the flags. Kenyon Miles, the intended target. Vito Tisdale was defending.
Pass interference, defense, 15-yard penalty for the previous spot, automatic first down.
I think it was a clear pass interference right there by the cornerback. Vito Tisdale just pulls the jersey of Kenyon Miles and pulls him down. And I'm going to keep saying this. It seems like it's going to be a passing game for Villanova today just because the run is so hard up the middle for them. So they're going to have to push the ball to this trio of Sanchez, Kopecky, and Miles.
Now the catch is made. Devin Smith, and he turns it back up and in for the touchdown. 12-yard strike for the score. Devin Smith on his 6th touchdown catch of the season. Now they're going to take a look at it, because I was going to say his foot when he caught it was right there on the sideline. We'll see if they maybe turn this. Nope, he was in. Yeah, good job to keep that foot in. It was close, though.
It's a great job by him extending out, getting the ball past the goal line. Looks like nobody saw him out here on the perimeter. He was really wide out here, even outside of the numbers.
Ethan Getman for the extra point, and Villanova has closed the gap here. 2nd quarter, 10:41 to go. They trail by 5. NCAA FCS Championship 1st round coverage continues here from Villanova. The Wildcats have closed the gap now. They trail 14-9 with 10:41 to go in the 2nd quarter. They got the touchdown catch from Devin Smith, 12 yards out from Connor Watkins. After trailing 14-0, they got the safety and then the touchdown. Jordan, what do you think here on this next possession for Eastern Kentucky? They had a lot of the momentum. How did they get that back?
Ideally, you want to give the ball to your best player, Joshua Carter. He's been the engine of your offense so far, but what you don't want to do, you don't want to go 3 and out very quickly. You want to figure out a way to steal this momentum back from the home team. They seem to have figured something out.
Well, here's the bracket. The FCS Championship, the winner of this game will get Incarnate Word, who is the number 6 seed. That'll be next Saturday, 3 o'clock, and that'll be in San Antonio, Texas. See the seeds that await the winners of this 1st round. And Villanova and Eastern Kentucky. Winner will have to go on the road. South Dakota State, Mercer, North Dakota State also awaiting the winners from 1st round coverage next weekend. That's on Saturday, December 7th. Braden Latham is in the backfield for Eastern Kentucky. Play fake here from Morrissey. Pressure, and he gets hit as he throws, and it's incomplete. And that was Albina Wobodo, who was in there for the play that time for Villanova. And it was wondering whether we were going to see him today. Wobodo, he had a knee injury and was questionable, but makes a nice job there on the pressure on quarterback Matt Morrissey. 2nd down and 10 from the 28. Latham, 1 yard, that's it. And a flag comes in here with extracurricular activity at the end of the play.
Just the unnecessary penalties that you can't have in a game like this. You get a big stop that's going to force a 3rd down. Now it's potentially unsportsmanlike and going to give Eastern Kentucky a 1st down.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct, defense number 9. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down. This is number 9's first unsportsmanlike conduct towards disqualification.
Yeah, tight trend that time. That's not what you needed. You're right, Jordan. And like I said, they had momentum here. Villanova did. Now all of a sudden they're going to push the ball up to the 44-yard line for Eastern Kentucky, and it's first down and 10.
Just those penalties you cannot have in this type of environment in the playoffs.
Morrissey, high pass, another flag comes in. He wanted Marcus Calwise. And interference on Villanova. Yeah, Jalen Goodman and Ethan Potter back there. Let's see it again. Yep, Goodman.
Pass interference, defense number 4. Ball being placed at the spot of the foul. First down.
That's 2 in a row now.
That's a tough call. I don't agree with that one there. That just looked like a good defensive play. I thought Goodman did a great job of driving down on the ball and trying to avoid making contact with the receiver by going up and trying to bat the ball down. Tough play for the Villanova defense there.
Head coach Mark Ferrante, I think he was thinking the ball was tipped and was trying to say to the official. But instead, they throw the flag and they get the interference, and the ball is now at the Villanova 44-yard line.
The previous play of a defensive pass interference is under further review.
Yeah, and that's why. They're going to go take a look at it, see if the ball was tipped. Yeah, Jason Soisman, the referee, you heard the announcement, so they'll go take a look at it. We will as well. Let's see. They called it on Jalen Goodman. A foul for Villanova. Is there enough evidence to see if that ball was deflected, which would negate the interference on the Wildcats?
Which would be a huge turn of events for Villanova, because it ends up being a third down for Eastern Kentucky.
High snap to Morrissey. And it would have been right there by Brendan Bell. Did he get a hand on it? 28.
It doesn't look like it was tipped to me. When you're looking for somebody tipping the ball, you're looking to see if the trajectory of the ball changes any, and I just don't see that. His arm and his hands go up, but I don't see him make contact with the football.
Yeah, I think that's a good look to see that it was not tipped. It went past his arm there.
He's trying to say he got a pinky on it. He's trying to sell it.
Yeah. He's got the... So, pass interference was the call. Yeah, got him with the pinky, he said. Right?
It's the old wise fifth-year senior trying to persuade the referees.
Well, he's done everything for this team. So
After review, the rolling on the field is confirmed. The pass was not tipped by the defender.
Yeah. Brendan Bell has been one of the most versatile players on this Villanova team. Okay, he's a fifth-year player out of Basket Ridge, New Jersey. He has 102 tackles coming into this game, second on the team. But then here's last week's stat line for you, okay? The final game of the regular season against Delaware. He had an interception, 2 sacks, a fumble recovery, and a rushing touchdown. So they put him on the offensive side when they get down low by the goal line situation. We already saw it again today. And he almost was able to sell that one, but instead it's going to be interference. The call stands. 1st and 10, Eastern Kentucky from the 44 of Villanova. Morrissey, nowhere to go, throws it into the Villanova sideline.
And there was a miscommunication right there because you had 2 players in the same area. You had Marcus Calwise, you had Marcus Calwise Jr. and also Jalen Montgomery in the same area. So a bit of a miscommunication on that one there, and that's why Morrissey just sails the ball out of bounds.
2nd and 10, just over 10 minutes to go here in the second quarter. 14-9, Eastern Kentucky. Play action. Morrissey, and they're looking for another flag, and they get it. And now they're probably going to get another one on taunting here. That's not smart for Eastern Kentucky. Let's see if they do throw another one. That was Ron Van Jr., so the initial flag thrown on Villanova, and their Wildcats are saying, hey, what about him? If you watch it again, he got hit, but then he stood over the defender and was voicing something. Here's the call from
Prior
Soisman.
to the pass, holding, defense, number 4. 10 yards from the previous spot, automatic first down.
I mean, watch this, Jordan, right? They called it on Jalen Goodman, but here's Van, number 6, so he got taken down clearly. And now watch this.
Some extra words right there. He's lucky he didn't get an unsportsmanlike foul on him right there to where the penalties potentially offset. But luckily for them, just a 15-yarder on Villanova.
Yeah, totally got away with it there at the end. 34-yard line now, the spot of the ball for Eastern Kentucky. It's first down and 10. Latham the carry. We'll eke out a couple to the 32. It'll be second down and 8. So all of a sudden, penalties here mounting up for Villanova. 3 of them, Jordan, on this drive.
Yeah, they've been keeping the drive alive for Eastern Kentucky on this one. Eastern Kentucky hasn't really gained a bunch of yards on this drive. It's primarily been Villanova penalties that's helped them sustain this drive and kept it going.
Morrissey, 3 of 7 passing for just 23 yards, but including a touchdown. Latham, the running back, 6 of 15 today, his 7th carry of the day, and that will go for maybe a yard. So he's going to have 7 carries for 16 yards. In the ground game, outside of that 77-yard run by Carter, Villanova has done a good job of shutting it down as well. Richie Kimmel on the tackle. Here comes third down for the Colonels.
I'm surprised we haven't seen Joshua Carter on this drive much,
right?
If any. It's been Latham primarily on this one, but I think they're going to get a bit of man coverage here, so look for some type of crossing routes from Eastern Kentucky or potentially a shot down the field.
3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. It's Calwise is in motion. Morrissey over the middle. It's knocked down and incomplete. That time Jalen Goodman makes the play. No flags are down, and it's going to be 4th down for Eastern Kentucky. He's looking for Caleb Schlachter that time.
And it's a great play by Jalen Goodman. Him being able to break on the ball and being able to break up the pass, just a great job by him. So after committing some penalties on this drive, he comes up with a big 3rd down stop for this Wildcats defense.
Timeout. Timeout, Eastern Kentucky. Their first of the half. Will be a 30-second timeout.
All right, so before they set up for the 47-yard field goal attempt, they take a timeout here. Wind is blowing. It's kind of swirling around a little bit. Tough to tell which direction right now.
Looks like it's a crosswind.
It's kind of going towards the goalpost in the direction that Eastern Kentucky is kicking into. They'll probably get a little bit of wind at their back here. 8:34 to go in this first half. It is 4th and 7, so on comes Patrick Nations. Jonathan Duff's going to snap. Cam Herget will hold, and Nations, they're going to now call it a 48-yard attempt here. And the kick is up, and it is good. He got it. So Nations connects. And it's 17-9. Eastern Kentucky extends the lead to 8 midway through this second quarter. Just had a season-long field goal made by Patrick Nations for Eastern Kentucky. Now 9 of 12 on the season. His career long is of 51, and he's been solid. 47 of 54 for his career. Transfer from East Carolina. It's still a 1-possession game though here. It's 17-9 in favor of the Colonels with 8:28 to play in the first half.
And Eastern Kentucky has to be careful here. Jabril Mace, he's almost popped a couple of those earlier kickoff returns. He's been a couple blocks short from springing one. So they have to be careful. The coverage unit has to do a great job here by getting them down to the ground.
Nations kicks off, and it's a short kick. And from the 5-yard line, you're right, here comes Mace. Out of steam, bumps it to the outside, across the 25, still on his feet, looking to go up to the 30-yard line, and he takes a lot of contact and continues to barrel forward. Gabe Stevens and Blake Howard on the tackle. Special teams more tasseling at the end of the play here as well. And the officials have to separate both teams. Get it back to the bench. First and 10, Villanova from the 30-yard line now with 8 minutes and 18 seconds to play in the first half. Watkins today, 7 of 9 passing for 108 yards and a touchdown and the interception. But you said it, Jordan, about the ground game. Not quite sure what's going on here. It's 14 carries for 11 total yards for Villanova today. Avid and trying to break something here, and he'll get 5 yards. It's probably one of the best runs of the day. Braden Sullivan on the tackle for Eastern Kentucky. Remember, the big play went down as a pass because it was a pass out in the flat to Abbott, and he took it 56 yards down the field. But then Villanova was able to, they came up empty. They were at the 2-yard line, got a pass interference in the end zone, had first and goal from the 2 and didn't score. Now Watkins is going to be sacked by Jeremiah Bailey.
Yeah, that's the second time today. If you remember early on in the first half, Jeremiah Bailey has been working Ryan Cregan. So some issues at right tackle for Villanova here early on, and that's been a position, a bit of musical chairs throughout the back end of the season. So something to keep an eye on is that right tackle spot. It seems like Eastern Kentucky is putting their best players over Villanova's right tackles.
Well, they've had some young players at that spot. Kyle Fay is a redshirt freshman, and Ryan Cregan is a true freshman, and they have went back and forth. This pass over the middle is dropped by Sanchez. And it's going to be 4th down for Villanova. The ref was kind of in the way on that one, and that didn't help the cause, and now the Wildcats have to punt.
Yeah, it looks like the ref was right in the middle of the field. Connor Watkins wanted to throw the dig route right there, but the ref, a little bit of a slow reaction, trying to get out of the way. Ended up being a distraction on that one.
Jalen Montgomery awaits the Ethan Getman kick. And Montgomery's going to let it go. And Villanova's going to down it inside the 25-yard line, and it's going to take us to a timeout. Just under 7 minutes to play in the first half. Colonels over the Wildcats. 17-9 in the FCS playoffs. Welcome back to Villanova. Home of the FCS Championship first round. Playoff action. Wildcats down here to Eastern Kentucky. 6 minutes and 56 seconds to play. They were the champions in 2009, Villanova. They beat Montana, Chattanooga, Tennessee. 4th playoff appearance in the last 6 years for the Wildcats. 2nd in the last 3 for Eastern Kentucky. There is Carter. He's finally back in the game for the Colonels. Jordan, I know you were asking about him, the star running back, number 8, who has over 1,100 yards rushing on the season. His 14 touchdowns are top 10 in the country in scoring rushing touchdowns this season in FCS.
And he's the bell cow of this offense, but Villanova's defense has settled in a little bit ever since that explosive run. You can see that they're keying in on Carter. So Eastern Kentucky may have to open up the passing game a little bit more here.
They go back to Carter, though, and he's trying to stretch it out, and he does down the left sideline. And let's see if they give him the first down, or did he step out prior to that? Ethan Potter pushed him out for Villanova. It's going to be 3rd down. He stepped out 2 yards shy of the first at the 31.
It's 3rd and a long 2. I think it's fair to say that number 8, Joshua Clark, is going to get the ball right here.
See if Nova brings some pressure. It is Carter, and he is being pushed out of bounds again, and this is right at the first down marker. Depends on the spot here. They give it to him. Let's see. Looks like a first down, yeah, 33-yard line. They finally saying, okay, move the chain here. First down for Eastern Kentucky. Got it right to the 33. That's where they had to get to. Morrissey, and the pass is incomplete for Schlachter. Now back to Carter for a moment here. Joshua Carter, Jordan, whose brother Michael Carter, currently a player for the Arizona Cardinals, right? Had over 900 yards in total offense his rookie year after being drafted by the Jets back in 2021. I know he's got a lot from his brother there who's in the NFL.
Yeah, there's nothing like having that older brother that is already in the arena that you want to be in as far as a pro player. There's so many aspirations that he has, and you better believe that he's training himself to be a pro already, and that's why he's been one of the biggest standouts on this EKU offense. He plays already, and he trains himself like a pro.
A tuck and run here from Morrissey, the quarterback, and he'll take it up close to the 40-yard line. And it'll set up a third down here as Amir Dawood on the tackle for Villanova. It'll be third down and 4 for Eastern Kentucky as the clock runs under 5 minutes here in the first half.
Just a simple zone replay right there. You can see every coach on the sideline signaling to Morrissey to get down, just because you don't want to see your quarterback taking those big shots from safeties and linebackers that are coming downhill on him. But a big third down right here for this EKU offense.
Stack formation for the wide receivers, 2 to each side. 3rd and 4. Morrissey, pressure coming in off the edge. He eludes it, but finally does throw it before he got hit. It's going to be incomplete. And it was Shane Hartzell again that got in there as well. They had a few players for Villanova.
Receiver number 8 is in the area, 4th down.
And that's a huge stop for the Villanova defense. Man coverage strictly right there. In EKU, their receivers have not been able to consistently beat man coverage in the second quarter so far. So that seems to be the answer for Villanova's defense.
Maddox fumbles the ball with a punt return. It's loose. Does he get back on it? Let's see. No. Eastern Kentucky. Brady Hensley was down there for the Colonels. And a fumble recovery.
The field is a muff kick recovered by the kicking team. First down.
The true freshman running back in on special teams, who has 4 tackles on the season on teams, and now he's got a fumble recovery to his credit as well.
Special teams has been a differentiator today, just like we predicted, right, partner?
Yeah. Well, you said it, causing turnovers. And
creating turnovers. I didn't think they would come on special teams.
Maddox muffing the punt, and now Eastern Kentucky in business here. They get it to Carter, and he's going to be dropped for a loss. Brendan Bell there for the tackle for Villanova.
So something that defensive coordinator Ross Pennypacker from Villanova is starting to do is he's sending a lot of edge pressure, just because they haven't been able to account for that pressure coming off of the edge, but also that creates some free hitters and some extra guys in the box for Joshua Carter. So Eastern Kentucky has to figure out a way and figure out some answers for the edge pressure that he's sending.
Morrissey from the shotgun on a 2nd down and 13 after the loss of 3. It's back to Carter, and he'll get that yardage back. And still at his feet and down close to the 10-yard line. How about that run by Carter?
It's a great run. We talked about him plenty in the lead up to this game. You have to rally and tackle him to get him down. There's not going to be one defender that can get him down by themselves. Once that first guy makes contact, the rest of the defense now has to come and rally in order to get him down, just because he's going to do a good job of churning his feet to get that extra yardage, and that's exactly what you saw on that previous run.
Nice job by that left side of the offensive line there in 74 Collins and 50 Coppinger that kind of helped with that push there at the end. The ball is now inside of the 10-yard line at the 9. It's 3rd and 5. They can get a first down at the 4-yard line. Morrissey to the end zone. Incomplete. Here comes the flag. Schlachter, the intended target, Ethan Potter was covering, and there have been multiple fouls on Villanova defensively here today. Do we get another one? Here it is, the call.
Pass interference, defense, number 34. Ball be placed at the 2-yard line, first down.
Jordan, they've hurt themselves here in this first half, that's for sure. Potter with the pass interference.
Once again in man coverage, again, which is what Villanova has strictly played in this quarter. But if you're going to play man coverage, you have to have the guys that are going to be able to hold up consistently in that one. And Villanova has just had way too many penalties in that coverage so far in the first half.
Had his hands all over him. Now here's Carter, and he's going to lose 2 yards on that run by Zamir Dawood again for Villanova. It'll be now 2nd down and goal for Eastern Kentucky from the 4-yard line. And they're also able to use some clock here as well.
Yeah. Which is exactly what they want to do.
Yeah, they don't need to snap this ball. They're not going to. We're going to get the 2-minute timeout. And then we'll come back with 2nd down and goal for Eastern Kentucky from the Villanova 4-yard line. They already lead here by 8 points. Trying to get some more before the half.
This is the 2-minute timeout.
And we have reached the 2-minute timeout here from Villanova. We'll be back in a moment. (17-9) here, Eastern Kentucky over Villanova. 2 minutes to go in this first half. And the Colonels of Eastern Kentucky are at the Villanova 4-yard line. They've got 2nd down and goal here. Villanova is going to get the ball to start the second half, but this could certainly help Eastern Kentucky to get another touchdown here. Just a 1-possession game right now, pending what happens as Joshua Carter's in the backfield. Van in motion, they give to Carter up the middle. He goes, he's got the touchdown. Joshua Carter scores, and a flag comes in as well. And Villanova saying this is on Eastern Kentucky. They're correct.
Offense number 62, 10-yard penalty, replay 2nd down.
They got the center, John Stone, there on the hold, and that's going to back him up.
It's a big swing for Eastern Kentucky. You go from potentially making this a 2-possession game to now backing up 10 yards.
Yeah.
And this completely changes your play call as an offensive coordinator, too.
It's an excellent call. It was all over him there. Certainly a hold. Obina Wabodo, who was getting held that time. Timeout is taken.
Eastern Kentucky, their 2nd of the half, 30-second timeout.
So now, Jordan, they're backed up to the 14-yard line with 2nd down and goal. Minute 55 to play. Villanova's also got 2 of their timeouts remaining, so if you can help it, you don't want to get the ball back to them with a lot of time, but when they get their timeouts, so what are you thinking here offensively if you're Eastern Kentucky? What kind of plays you looking at running right now in this situation?
If we're going based off the tendencies that they have shown throughout the season and in this game so far, you're probably going to get man coverage. So if I'm offensive coordinator Andy Richmond here, I want to create some type of natural rub or some type of pick route in order to get one of my guys open, just because Villanova has played a ton of man coverage on this drive, so I expect them to come out in that coverage on this one.
It's 2nd and goal from the 14-yard line. Morrissey from the shotgun, Carter to his left. Little pressure showing here for the Wildcats. They get it to Carter. It's inside the 10. And now does Villanova take the timeout here to preserve some clock?
Timeout, Villanova, their
They do.
2nd timeout of the half will be 30 seconds. Please reset the game clock to 1 minute, 50 seconds.
So it's 1:50 to go in this first half. Each team's got 1 timeout remaining now, and now it's Eastern Kentucky with the ball at the Villanova 9-yard line with 3rd and goal.
And it's smart to run the ball there just because you want to force them to use or burn one of their timeouts, just because they're not going to be able to use that if they get the ball back, if you score points here. So just figuring out where some gamesmanship for them to burn one of those 2 timeouts that they did have.
If you're Eastern Kentucky, though, at this point, you're not really too much worried about the clock, right? Because, I mean, they're going to get it back anyway. It's like trying to get the ball in the end zone. You know, if you run it, they're just going to use their final timeout and preserve as much clock. I mean, I would say Can you get it to the end zone? Where's Marcus Calwise, 83, in the slot, bottom of your screen. Bryant Johnson below him, and Ron Van Jr., the 3 wide receivers to the right side.
That's going to be zone coverage.
Morrissey. End zone. It's up there. It is caught, but out of the back of the end zone by Ron Van Jr. He took a shot. Amazing he was able to hang on. Potter, excuse me. And it's going to be 4th down. Nice catch, though, by Ron Van.
It took a long time for these routes to develop. The offensive line from EKU did a great job of protecting Morrissey there, but a great job by Potter going up and making a play, just knocking the receiver, Van Jr., out of the back of the end zone.
So the 26-yard field goal attempt here now for Patrick Nations. Make it a 2-score game. And the kick is blocked! Villanova blocks the kick. There's Roboto, along with Aiden Howard as well. Couple guys up front. What a job by Villanova, keeping it a 1-score game.
Special teams. That's been the difference in this game so far. But the great thing for Villanova is they can double up here, so they can go down and potentially get points, and they get the ball coming out of halftime. So this is a big chance for Villanova here to swing the momentum of this game going into the locker room, but also coming back out with them getting the ball.
Looks like it might have also went off the back of the helmet there of Fred Hinton, one of the linemen in on that field goal unit, because it was such a strong push by Villanova, pushing him back right into the line of the field goal. And now here's Connor Watkins, who goes to the sideline. The pass is deflected. And that was Jordan Thomas that came in as the pass was intended for Lucas Kopecky. And it'll be 2nd down now for Villanova at their own 19. Clock stops in the minute 35 to go before halftime. Watkins looking again, sideline. Kopecky in the catch, and he's out of bounds. So now here's the other thing: you got to be careful if you're Villanova to give them, you don't want to give the ball back to Eastern Kentucky with time on the clock here, because it's now 3rd down.
I was just about to say that. I'm surprised they didn't run the ball on one of those downs there, but Eastern Kentucky still has 1 timeout left in their back pocket, but they have to get a 1st down here, just because you don't want to go 3 and out and give the ball right back to Eastern Kentucky.
3rd and 6 from the 24-yard line. Abbott is in the backfield to the right of Watkins. Steps up, pressure is going to take off, and he's got the 1st down. A good job there by Watkins. Gabe Stevens on the tackle for Eastern Kentucky, but he gets up to the 33-yard line. The chain will move. Clock is at 1:20.
You have to get into your 2-minute offense. You want to keep the same personnel on the field and get everybody back on the ball.
Flag comes down. Watkins' pass, and it's nearly intercepted. Jordan Thomas again is there, number 13 for Eastern Kentucky.
Holding, offense number 69. 10-yard penalty, replay 1st down.
So now the center for the other team gets called for a hold. That's Jake Picard for Villanova.
It looks like Villanova was hoping for a defensive pass interference here. Jordan Thomas might have got there a little bit early, which is what their sideline was arguing there, but the referees disagree.
6 penalties for Villanova in this 1st half for 64 yards. 4th and 31 for Eastern Kentucky. Minute 8 to go. Watkins pass again. This is caught. Short pickup though by Kenyon Miles. He's tackled down right on the spot by Jaheim Ward. Clock continues to run. Second down and long here. Watkins again, sideline, nothing doing there from Miles. And now it's 3rd down and 16. You're Eastern Kentucky, Jordan, you got that timeout still. Coach Ferrante and Villanova. Tough spot here, trying to pick up and needing 16 yards to keep this drive alive here toward the end of the 1st half. 4 receiver set. Watkins Put some time back there, but nobody's open downfield. Looking, goes over the middle and incomplete. Almost a first down catch by Luke Daly, but it hit the turf and it's 4th down.
And that was a great job by Watkins right there, keeping the play alive. And he found his man. He was open. He just has to make the catch. I know it would have been a tough one with him with this momentum going back the other way, but that's a ball that he has to bring in. Daly has to make that catch that will help his quarterback out to sustain the drive in this 2-minute situation.
Getman is the punter. Jalen Montgomery is back to return. Lets this one bounce, and it's going to take a Villanova bounce. So they're going to down it at the 30-yard line. They're going to hit a player prior to that. That is the case at the 34-yard line. It was deflected there. Timmy Ferguson on special teams, but off of him. And so now Eastern Kentucky, they've got 26 seconds to go, Jordan, and they've got their timeout still. Field goal kicker Patrick Nations, who hit from 48, and they got the last one blocked.
This is where you want to be aggressive if you're Eastern Kentucky. You can look for a screen pass here or something down the field. You still have one timeout in your back pocket, too.
It's Carter on the carry. He breaks it and gets up close to the first down marker. He's a yard shy of the 43-yard line. I see if they use a timeout here. Goodman on the tackle, and they do take the timeout. Or did they not? No, they did not use the timeout. Okay. That's interesting. Not quite sure why you wanted to preserve some clock, get a pass maybe into Villanova territory, potentially set up for a field goal, but head coach Walt Wells says, all right, that's all we got here. We're up 17-9, and we've reached the half. First round of the 2024 FCS Championship. Eastern Kentucky leads it 17-9 over Villanova at the half. Halftime report on the other side of this break. (17-9), Eastern Kentucky leading Villanova at the half from Villanova, Pennsylvania. You're watching the NCAA FCS Championship first round. Now let's take a look at the bracket here. Villanova's the 11th seed hosting this game here today. On byes, getting ready for second round action is North Dakota State, Mercer, Incarnate Word, and South Dakota State. Rhode Island already a winner today over Central Connecticut State, 21-17. So they move on. And the winner of this game is going to move on to take on Incarnate Word next Saturday in San Antonio. We'll be back with more at the half after this. NCAA FCS Championship first round coverage continues today from Villanova. The Wildcats and the Colonels, 17-9. Eastern Kentucky leads it here as we welcome you back inside Villanova Stadium, everyone. Mike Corey alongside Jordan Reed. All right, so we come into this game thinking it's going to see a lot of ground game. The running backs, they've been kind of neutralized on both sides. It's really been the turnovers and also the penalties that have hurt the Wildcats as Eastern Kentucky leads it by 8.
Yeah, coming in, we thought the running backs were going to be the name of the game. And outside of the big 77-yard run by Joshua Carter early on, both of the guys have been limited. But special teams is another area where we've seen this game really have a bunch of momentum swings, whether it's a botched punt, a blocked field goal, and there's been some other special teams occurrences that have happened to swing the momentum in this game too.
And the penalties too have hurt the Wildcats in this game. They've had numerous pass interference penalties as well. There's been a couple of holds on each team. Also, what else do you make of this first half? Like, who's going to make a play here that's going to turn this thing one way or the other?
Well, it may not even be an offensive touchdown that swings the momentum of this game. It may be something defensively, which is what we highlighted early on coming into this game, and that both of these defenses are really strong. And I think outside of the first quarter, both of these defenses have really settled in since the beginning of the game. All
right, let's tell you how we got to this point here. Eastern Kentucky took a 14-point lead early. They scored on their opening possession of the game, and Joshua Carter, this is the second play of the game, and he takes it 77 yards to the house.
And this is exactly what we wanted to see from Joshua Carter. We knew he was explosive, we knew he was dynamic, and he showed that on the very first drive for Eastern Kentucky.
And I say neutralized because it was after that there really hasn't been any runs of substance by either team. Then you had the turnover, right? The interception, and then Eastern Kentucky capitalizes. They lead at 14-zip.
Yeah, that's exactly what you wanted to see from this defense. They wanted to establish their presence early on, and we talked about the turnover from this defense and how well they've been playing this year, and we've seen that so far today.
They got the safety, Villanova did, then they get the touchdown. Devin Smith with the touchdown there, and it was a 5-point game until the Colonels hit a field goal to make it 17-9. Here's your summary. Now think about this too as well. Villanova had 1st and goal from the 2-yard line after a pass interference penalty in the end zone by Eastern Kentucky, and the Colonels stopped them. They held them on 4 straight plays, so a turnover on down. So this game potentially could be tied right now here at the half. Instead, it's Eastern Kentucky leading 17-9.
It could be, and they have to make another stop coming out of halftime just because their defense is going to be back on the field. So Villanova has an opportunity to really make this a tie ball game or potentially be a 17-16 game, but regardless, they have a chance to get back in this one by making a statement early on coming out of the locker room.
And so there are your numbers in the first half, and then over on Eastern Kentucky, right, the 125 rush yards, you take away the 77, and they've got 48. So it'd be 48 rush yards there to 22. Basically, that's kind of the story of the first half. Not much happening for each team on the ground outside of that big run by Carter. And then there's the penalty, 6 for Villanova that hurt them in that first half. But again, all that being said, it's a 1-possession game here for the right to move on to the second round of the playoffs. Looking forward to seeing what we get in the second half.
Yeah, it is, and everything that happened in the first half, both coaches will take the positions that they're in right now. And of course, Villanova wants to be in the lead, but it's still a 1-possession game.
Back to Villanova with the start of the second half right after this. Stay tuned. Tailgating here before this game today at Villanova. 35 degrees on this Saturday, the final day of November. We're getting set for the start of the second half. Some of this looks pretty good there, Jordan. We get a chance to get out there for that.
Yeah, it looks
We'll
really,
have some post game.
looks really good.
Yeah, here from Villanova today. 17-9, Eastern Kentucky leading Villanova. Wildcats will get the ball to start the second half here. Here's what they're playing for, the right to move on to round 2. Incarnate Word awaiting the winner of this game here. We'll have all the FCS championship games on the ESPN network, so stay tuned for that next Saturday. That'll be December 7th for round 2. On our way to the quarterfinals, December 13th and 14th. Rhode Island already a winner today over Central Connecticut State. Really good year for Rhode Island. They were the 10 seed. They come away with a 4-point win. Abilene Christian up early, 7-0. Here's the other side of the bracket. And games that are coming up a little bit later in the first round here on ESPN. And the number 1 seed, Montana State, bye in round 1 along with Idaho, UC Davis, and South Dakota as they get set to play next Saturday. Mike Corey, Jordan Reed with you today from Villanova Stadium here in Pennsylvania. First half numbers for the quarterbacks. Let's talk Eastern Kentucky and Matt Morrissey. 3 of 11 passing for 23 yards and the touchdown. That's it for him in the first half. And then Watkins for Villanova, 9 of 15 for 116 yards, a touchdown, and the interception that we had showed you in the highlights there as well. Watkins is actually the leading rusher as well as Abbott. They've only got 14 yards apiece on 7 and 5 carries respectively. And then Carter, because of the 77-yard run, Joshua Carter for Eastern Kentucky, he's got 13 carries for 110 yards and the touchdown. Interesting first half in terms of, like, no one else is really kind of breaking out or making tremendously big plays here. Do you think the teams went a little conservative maybe in that first half, or what do you expect here coming up in the second frame? Any change there, or what do you got, Jordan?
No, I think they're still going to stick to their base principles, and that's running their offense through their running backs. But outside of the 56-yard catch by David Abbott for Villanova and then the 77-yard touchdown run by Joshua Carter, we haven't seen any explosive plays so far through the first half. But I expect both teams to stick to the game plan of feeding the ball to their running backs. But Villanova seems to have found something with their passing offense, so they could look to throw the ball more with so much attention on David Abbott. Now, on the inverse and on the flip side with Eastern Kentucky, they have to figure out something with their passing game, with them getting so much man coverage, whether it's a bunch, stack, or rub type of routes. They have to figure out a way to get their guys open or create some type of space with so much attention on Joshua Carter.
Some of the storylines of this game here today. Villanova, they're undefeated at home this season. They're 6-0. They've actually won 15 straight here at Villanova Stadium. They went down early, 14-0. They closed the gap. It's now a one-score game. On the other side, what is Eastern Kentucky playing for here? This is their second appearance in the playoffs in the last 3 seasons, yet they haven't won a playoff game since 1994. They've lost their last 8 games in the postseason, and moreover, they have not won a road game in the playoffs since 1986. That's what's at stake here today. If they can pull off this upset at Villanova, they got an 8-point lead as we get set to start the second half, and Eastern Kentucky will kick off to Villanova. So a chance for them to kind of even the stakes here after a slow start. Here's Patrick Nations, who had a field goal of 48 yards, a season high. Then he got a field goal block too. Don't forget about that as well. So potentially could have been a 2-score game with Eastern Kentucky towards the end of that first half, but he got a field goal blocked. 26-yarder as well, so he'll kick off to start the second frame. Jabril Mace is back to return number 30. He's had some pretty good returns today as well. You said they got to do a better job kickoff coverage if you're Eastern Kentucky, because this guy's liable to break one.
He is. He's been 1 tackle away from breaking it. And that's something that they have to continue to do. You have to corral and get to him just because he's very dangerous back there. And look for him to get through that first wall of defenders. If he's able to get through that, he potentially could make a game-changing play here early on.
Jackson House had to hold the ball down as the kickoff goes here to Villanova outside of the hands of Mace. It went to Ethan Potter, and he takes it up to about the 38, 39-yard line. More skirmish here after the end of this play. We've seen this multiple times in this game, players going after each other. There's Jeffrey Kinley and teams heading back over to the sideline, and no flags down. It's going to be Villanova ball. Let's see where they place it here. Looks like at about the 39-yard line is where they'll set up camp to begin the second half. Oh, there is a flag now. Jeez, I didn't.
5 yards to be added to the end of the play. First down.
Didn't see one on the field, but they did call a penalty, so they're going to move them up 5 from the spot. So from the 39, they'll bring it up to the 44-yard line. It should be first down here for Villanova at the 44 of their own side. First down to 10. All right, let's get the second half going here as Villanova trails it by 8, 17-9. First and 10 at their own 44. The quarterback, Connor Watkins. David Avitz in the backfield. He gets the call. He breaks through the middle and gets right into Eastern Kentucky territory, and a first down to the 45, a gain of 11.
And that's a run concept we did not see them run in the first half. You can see Avitz take steps to the right and then come back to the left. Looks like a tackle ISO, a dart play right there where the offensive tackle is leading up on the play side linebacker. That's a run concept that they did not show in the first half. So a little bit of some trick stuff coming out of the locker room is something that they haven't shown in the first half from Villanova.
Back to Avett, and he's taken down on the spot by Jeremiah Bailey. Loss of a yard on the play.
And they went back to the same play right there again, pulling the right tackle, Kyle Fay, right there, trying to lead him up on that play side linebacker, but Eastern Kentucky making a quick adjustment after seeing the same play on back-to-back plays.
Another give to Avett off the right side this time, and he gets down to about the 41-yard line. Combination tackle by Maddox Marcellus and Jordan Thomas for Eastern Kentucky. It's going to be a third down and long here. Not too bad. 3rd and 6 from the 41-yard line.
And they ran the same play again. Tackle ISO, pulling that offensive tackle across the line of scrimmage, trying to lead him up on the play side linebacker there, but didn't get a lot of positive yards there, but still a 3rd and manageable here for Villanova.
Jordan potentially 4-down territory here if they don't pick it up.
Possibility.
Yeah. Watkins. Pass is caught. Chris Colby, and he's hit, and the extra effort's going to have him get the first down. 35-yard line. Vito Tisdale finally made the place, got him out of bounds, but it's a first down. Nice catch there by Chris Colby. True freshman, his 9th catch of the season.
And they bought a blitz there, but it was a good job by Villanova picking it up. And as a quarterback, you want to throw right into that pressure, especially where the safety dropping down is coming in to fill that free area of where that blitzer is coming from. And that's exactly what Watkins was able to do there.
Jabril Mace is in the backfield now. We've seen him a lot on the kickoff return. Now he gets the handoff here. And picks up about 4 yards. Gets down to the 31. Marcellus, another tackle, number 11 for Eastern Kentucky. Top tackler on this team, came in with 87. And Bailey is the injured player right now here for Eastern Kentucky.
Official timeout for injury.
Sophomore defensive end. Tending to that right leg. Not a bad opening drive, though, for Villanova here. Jordan getting down the field with a 2nd down and 6. Thanks to that nice catch there by Colby. That extra effort got him the 1st down to keep this drive alive. But that, you know, like we said, had he not got it, you probably could have went for it there on maybe 4th and inches, whatever would have been, but he did get the 1st. Now Bailey is up. That's good to see for him. He goes to the sideline. What are you thinking here coming up on 2nd and 6?
I think you stick with the ground attack. That's something that they've had success with, but a pass here would not be surprising. And a good thing for Villanova is that they found their rhythm in the passing game. I thought they showed some good things on the outside in the 2nd quarter, and they're building off of that here coming into the locker room. Other players outside of David Abbott had to continue to step up and make plays if Villanova wants to win today.
Yeah, Mace is in the backfield. And movement here. Flag comes in. Left side of the offensive line there. And a little bit of early movement for Villanova.
Delay game, defense, disconcerting signals and calls the offensive false
There you
start.
go.
5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
They called it on the defense, causing the offense to move. So Jason Soitman, our referee here.
So what happens is Kirby Smart in Georgia actually came up with this. And what will happen is they do a quick shift before the ball is snapped. So what happened there with Eastern Kentucky, you heard someone say move. And that signals the defensive line to move before the ball is snapped. But you can't say move because that makes the offensive line jump. The defensive line cannot give false signals like that.
Great point, Jordan, and that's the reason for the call. And now they give it to David Abbott, and he's taken down by Jaquez McGowan for Eastern Kentucky, shy of the 1st down here. It's going to be 3rd and short.
As a defender, you can't say move, set hut, obviously, or clap, because that's a false perception, which is why delay a game was called by the official.
There's another flag down on the far side here. Sideline warning.
Sideline warning, Eastern Kentucky.
Coach Wells, a little fired up on the sideline there for Eastern Kentucky. 17-9, they lead it here. Coming up on 11 minutes to go in the 3rd. This is the opening drive of the 2nd half. It's 3rd and a yard for Villanova. Abbott, he's got it. Frank Lee, the 4th in the tackle for Eastern Kentucky, but this could be a statement here for the Wildcats, right? Jordan, you're taking this start of this 3rd quarter and you're just moving the ball methodically down the field here.
It is. That's a good run by Abbott right there. It's a great job by him of sticking his foot in the ground and getting vertical, understanding the down and distance and the situation, and getting the 3rd and short.
Abbott and Mace in the backfield now. Play fake from Watkins. Steps up. He can run. He's got Abbott blocking in front. Watkins, the quarterback, as he goes to the sideline, picks up the 1st down. A wise play there not to take a big shot. Gains 15.
And they went with a post wheel concept, and it ended up being man coverage. But what happens is a lot of times when you play man, you forget to account for the quarterback. And sometimes you have the quarterback who is able to, what I call, out-athlete those defenders. And that's exactly what Watkins was able to do to keep the drive alive. 1st and goal for the Wildcats.
5 minutes plus this drive to begin this 3rd quarter. 1st and goal from the 7. Abbott taken down at the 5. Jeremiah Bailey, who was back in, making the defensive play for Eastern Kentucky. And a player down for Villanova here. That's Jake Picard, the center.
He got rolled up on pretty bad right there. He caught the end of Abbott running. Took a shot directly to his lower body. Hopefully he's okay.
Mark Ferrante, head coach, is out there as well. They look at Jake Picard, the center, senior leader for this offensive line that has moved some guys around, that really has 4 freshmen in the lineup. 3 redshirt freshmen and 1 true freshman that have rotated throughout. Picard really the only upperclassman there, along with the backup Gilbert Deglau. Let's see, here it is again. You said, yeah, Abbott got pushed right into the back of Picard's left leg. He's already got the brace on the right leg. We'll try to get him up here. There's Jake Picard getting help off the field.
Just hope he's okay. That's the one player on this offense up front that you cannot afford to lose.
Now let's see what they do here. So you got Kyle Fay coming in. You got Quinn Whalen now as well, 63, and he is going to be the new center. So he's at center. Tommy Broderick, the left guard. Stephon Voltaire, the left tackle. Chris McCullers, the right guard, and Kyle Fay, the right tackle. With 2nd and goal from the 5-yard line. And to the end zone, the pass is caught. James Weldy, the tight end. And Villanova is a couple points away from tying this game up.
It's a great play call right here with offensive coordinator Chris Bowden. And what happens a lot of times when you establish that running game, you lose sight of those inline blockers, those big tight ends, those fullbacks, and that's exactly what James Well was able to do as he gets the touchdown for the Wildcats. And we have a fun one here. Villanova gets back on the board, making this down by 1 point. 17 Eastern Kentucky, 16 the Wildcats of Villanova.
James Weldy, number 89, the tight end for Villanova, his first catch of the season. And it goes for a 5-yard touchdown. The senior out of Havertown, Pennsylvania. And it's a 1-point game, so Wildcats elect to kick the extra point instead of going for 2 to try to tie it up, because it's early here, right, Jordan? 9-10 to go in the 3rd quarter, because if you don't get it, you're down 2, and then if you give up a touchdown, extra point, then now it's back to a 2-possession ball game, so you'd rather not have that. So it's a 1-point game here. And Getman kicks off. Montgomery back to return for Eastern Kentucky. Jalen Montgomery, and he's going to take it to a knee. Once again, Eastern Kentucky trying to get their first playoff win since 1994. And their first road win since 1986. 23 appearances, though, in the FCS playoffs for this storied program. That's the thing. When you look at it, it's the 2nd most of any school. But they are looking to get back on the plus side and try to come up with a big one here on the road in the playoffs and advance to round 2. 25-yard line, 1st down and 10. Look out. Carter on the catch, sideline, and thought it could have been a little bit more. That was developing nicely. Brendan Bell pushed him out of bounds. And right at the 1st down marker, the 35-yard line, they give him the 1st.
Just trying to get number 8, the ball, Joshua Carter, involved early in this one. Just because they have tried to get him involved in the pass game, but it just hasn't worked. The run game outside of the 77-yard touchdown run on the 2nd play of the game, it's been stymied a bit by this Villanova defense. So look for number 8 to get more involved.
Calwise goes in motion, and they try to get it back inside handoff to Carter, and he's going to be shut down. Not much going on there. Wobodo on the tackle for Villanova. Carter was a former linebacker in high school and a guy from Florida. Previously attended South Alabama. He's already got his bachelor's degree in sports management that he got in the fall of last year. Currently working on his MBA. Over 2,000 career yards for Carter. 2nd down and 9. They go right back to him again, trying to get some consistency going here. And not going to get too much on that play. He's going to get up to the 38. It's going to be 3rd and 7. Shane Hartzell, another tackle for Villanova defensively.
Well, it's clear that defensive coordinator Ross Pennypacker is going to pack the ball on number 8 Joshua Carter. So he's saying, I'm going to force Eastern Kentucky to throw the ball in order to win this game. That's why you see so many of their defenders converging very early on Joshua Carter. He wants to stop the run, and they have been able to do that so far on this drive.
And they have shown nothing through the air here, Eastern Kentucky. 4 of 12. Matt Morrissey passing for 33 yards. Now he takes a shot as he goes to the sideline, and it's incomplete. Looking for Marcus Calwise. And Ty Trin there. And a deflection on that pass and a big shot on Matt Morrissey. It's now 4th down, and the Colonels have to kick.
Try to go down the field here, throwing a deep out to the sideline, but that's really good coverage by the safety right there, Ty Trin. And that's exactly what you wanted to do, being able to force them on the 3 and out in this one. That's it, or excuse me, getting the ball back here for Villanova, especially with your offense having such a good drive coming out of the locker room.
On the return here is Maddox, and he gets up to the 44-yard line. So excellent field position for Villanova. And another flag comes in. Flag comes in on the play. Isaiah Wright and Trey Gooden were going at it there. Villanova and Eastern Kentucky, respectively. A little heated here in this game, Jordan. Right? They've had to separate the teams a couple of times. There's been a couple of personal fouls. Taunting. Here's the call.
Personal foul. Kicking team. Number 26. 15-yard penalty. 1st down. He has been ejected from the game.
Oh, wow. So they've ejected Trey Gooden, the senior cornerback who was in on special teams, number 26 for Eastern Kentucky. We have to go back and see what happened there. The personal foul and disqualified from the game. We'll show it to you when we come back. Well, let's keep it here for a moment. 7:09 to go in this 3rd quarter. Here it is. All right, top of the screen, 26. Okay, there's 26 now on the left side. He got hit by Wright. Now what does he do? Oh, he just took a swing at him with the right hand, so we'll be right back. Welcome back. There's Trey Gooden for Eastern Kentucky, along with head coach Walt Wells, talking to the officials. And, you know, here's what just happened. This is tough if you're Gooden. And he got knocked down by Wright, okay, 26 for Villanova. Then there's 26 in white, Gooden. Yeah, he takes a swing at him, okay? It's a personal foul, but then he got ejected. Jordan, thoughts?
It's just the referees trying to crack down on them in the 2nd half, just because it got a little bit chippy early on. So the refs just trying to gain control back in this game.
Fumble. Ball is fumbled by Watkins for Villanova, and Eastern Kentucky's on it. They get it back.
Rolling on the field is a fumble
Jr.
recovered by the defense. 1st down, Eastern Kentucky.
Jaheim Ward in there as well. Here's Watkins. It gets stripped by Maddox Marcellus. And then you had junior number 1, Jaheim Ward number 9, going after it on the ground. Eastern Kentucky recovers the fumble.
Talk about a roller coaster of emotions in this game of highs and lows.
Right? Wow, Villanova had a chance here after all that to drive down the field and take this lead for the first time today. Instead, now Latham is taken down in the backfield for Eastern Kentucky. It's a loss of 2. They're fired up. Zamir Dawood on the tackle.
Dawood has made some really nice plays as a run defender so far in this one. He's flashed a lot in this game. You've been able to see number 37. And once again, talking about Villanova with their turnovers, very uncharacteristic of them so far in this game. With 3 turnovers today, they only had 10 coming to this game, which was the fewest in the CAA.
Latham powers his way across the 40 and a first down for Eastern Kentucky. That was big. Potter on the tackle, but that's one of their best runs of the day.
Officials timeout for injury.
Shane Hartzell, injured player for Villanova. That's not good. 31, the linebacker, who's been all over the place. Their top tackler this season. We're checking on him now. There was Braden Latham that got the run, changed the pace back, and he's been more explosive at times this season, although Carter's had an incredible year. But 103 yards and a touchdown, a career high last week for Latham. As Hartzell is up, there's Latham, who his family calls him Butterball. That's his nickname. Wasn't able to get a reason for that one, but that's what he goes by. He's over 600 yards rushing on the season with 3 touchdowns coming into today, and kind of working on that right arm, getting it loose there. That's a big first down run, Jordan, especially after everything that just happened.
Yeah, it is. Well, Butterball seems like he has some butter on his jersey because these defenders have not been able to grab him when he's been in the game so far today.
They also get him in the passing game as well. 10 receptions on the season, too. Third quarter here, coming up on 6 minutes to play. 1st and 10, Eastern Kentucky from their own 41-yard line. Latham stays in the running back spot. 4 receivers set. Keeper, look out. Morrissey's got it off the left side, and he'll gain yardage across the 45, pick up about 5. Christian Sapp makes the tackle for Villanova. Hartzell is back in, 31, so that's good to see if you're a Wildcat fan.
And that was a great read by Morrissey right there. They ran an inside zone play, and the responsibility of the quarterback is you have to read the defensive end. If the defensive end converges on the running back, then you pull the ball and run downhill. That was a great job by the quarterback.
Another keeper, and close to the first down. Let's see, do they give it to him? Yeah, 49-yard line of Villanova. That's where they mark it, and one official did signal first down. Yep, the chain moves. Sapp again on the tackle, but Morrissey now, Jordan, all of a sudden starting to do a little bit with his legs here.
The same play. It's the zone read. The defensive end keeps crashing on the running back, so they're not respecting Morrissey as a runner. That's what that tells me anyway, but Morrissey has been able to make them pay on back-to-back runs to gain a first down.
We're inside of 5 minutes now to go here in the third. Good time for Morrissey in the pocket, but the throw is low, looking for Jackson House, and defended by Brendan Bell. This Eastern Kentucky team 5-0 in games decided by 11 points or less this season. They've been in some close ones and they've come out on top. But Villanova 6-0 at home this year. They've won 15 straight here at Villanova Stadium. Winner moves on to round 2 of the playoffs. 1-point game. 2nd and 10 for the Colonels. Morrissey, and that's incomplete. Looking for Jaden West for the first time today, and that was behind him on a little cross for the redshirt freshman.
And they were trying to run what's called a mesh concept, and all mesh is you have multiple crossing routes. So you have a guy sitting over the middle of the field, and you have 2 shallow crosses crossing across each other. Now, with West, he had to stay on the move there just because that's what you're taught as a receiver, but the quarterback has to keep him on the move on those shallow routes. He threw the ball behind him, and that stopped his momentum.
His team's been good on 3rd down this season. They got 3rd and 10 now, however, though, here at the Villanova 49-yard line. Morrissey Pressure. Here comes a flag. Potential holding here now in Eastern Kentucky. Morrissey's going to take off and get the first down, but this may be coming back as he gets down to the Villanova 35-yard line. And penalties have hurt both teams here today.
Holding. Offense, number 50. 10-yard penalty. Replay third down.
That is the 8th penalty called on Eastern Kentucky today for 66 yards.
It's just holding on the left guard right there, Liam Coppinger. And unfortunately, it was a great play made by Morrissey, which would have went for a first down. So it goes from a first down to being 3rd and long.
3rd and 20. Empty backfield here. Morrissey. And I thought for a moment too, Jordan, as you saw the setup, I was like, well, maybe they'll just do inside handoff, keep it safe here. But then it was an empty backfield, and then Morrissey does pretty much the same thing. Like, let me just get out of here for a few yards, punt the ball, push him back, play field position. Team's leading by 1.
And that's exactly what they're doing here. They're just playing the field position game. No need to risk with it being 4th and long right here, an obvious punt. Try to pin him inside of the 10 and make him drive the length of the field.
Yeah, not a lot of plays for the 3rd and 20 after they got the holding call. Maddox is back to return here. Fair catch called for and made at the 12-yard line, or 17-yard line. So Villanova starts on their own 17, trailing by 1 late in the 3rd. We'll be back. Back at Villanova, it's a 1-point lead for Eastern Kentucky with 3 minutes and 25 seconds to play in the 3rd. And Villanova's back on offense, but they've hurt themselves here, Jordan. 3 turnovers in this game already for the Wildcats, and very uncharacteristic of them this season.
Very uncharacteristic of them this season, but EKU has done a really good job of affecting the game in all 3 phases. As we see the recovery on the punt return, the muff punt there, forcing a fumble by Connor Watkins. So these turnovers are something that we have not seen this year from Villanova, but they have an opportunity to answer on this drive.
The interception, the muff punt, and the fumble. David Abbott on the carry here for Villanova, and he gets up to the 19-yard line as Maddox Marcellus makes the tackle. It's a gain of just 2. Here's some numbers worth noting for you coming into today's game for Villanova. Their first half scoring margin, -11. In the second half, +75. That's throughout this entire season. And when we get to the 4th quarter, we'll say it again, 61-10. They've outscored opponents in the 4th quarter this season in the last 7 games. So they're saving their best for last here, it seems like lately. Look out, Connor Watkins in trouble, gets out of it, running to the left sideline, got a first down. Across the 30-yard line and out of bounds. Pressure came in from Darian Baker that flushed him out, but Watkins gets the first.
And once again, this is just a great job by Connor Watkins of having that, what I call second reaction plays. Him keeping the drive alive by gaining yards, staying ahead of the sticks, and keeping this offense on schedule. He's done a good job of that so far in the second half. Yes, he needs to correct some of the turnovers, but as far as keeping this offense on schedule, I think he's done a great job of that.
So Watkins is the leading rusher for Villanova today. 10 carries, 53 yards. Passing is 11 of 17 for 127 yards and 2 touchdowns. He keeps it here, and he fumbles again. It's picked up by Eastern Kentucky, and rumbling in is Jeremiah Bailey for the touchdown. Frank Lee, the 4th, stripped it. Jeremiah Bailey, the sophomore defensive end, picks it up and scores it for the Colonels.
Rolling on the field is a touchdown. That play is under further review.
And I was going to say that. I think this may come back as an incomplete pass because he tossed it forward. Now, the key here is if he tossed it forward, it's an incomplete pass. But if he fumbled the ball out, obviously it's a fumble. But if he pitched it forward.
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, that's, wow. I mean, who is he pitching it to? I mean, Frank Lee, the fourth there on his back, 22. So take a look at that. He's right there. Well, yeah, I think he knocked it out of his hands.
I agree. That's a fumble.
Yeah, he knocked it out of his hands. Bailey, look at Bailey. Put him in the running game.
Every big man's dream is the scoop and score. But once again, we talked about the turnovers. That's something that's been uncharacteristic of this Villanova team. They only had 10 total coming into this week's game, which was the lowest mark in the CAA in their conference, and they have 4 today, almost halfway to their season total.
No doubt. I mean, that's going to be the whole reason if Villanova doesn't win this game today. The 4 turnovers, and it's a lot to overcome. And remember, the ruling on the field was a fumble recovered by Eastern Kentucky. Jeremiah Bailey, who got the touchdown.
And I think this may stand.
Yeah.
Initially, I thought from live viewing, it looked like he tossed the ball forward, but it like he tried to toss it, tucked it back, and then got the ball knocked out of his hands. So an unfortunate turn of events for Villanova, but once again, a huge, huge defensive play for Eastern Kentucky.
Jeremiah Bailey, I mean, Villanova uses defensive players on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know if you're Eastern Kentucky, I'd put Bailey in there in a running back spot, see if he can make something happen for you. That was just picture perfect the way he was able to grab that and go in for the touchdown. And now, if this play stands, it's a 7-point lead. Do you think about going for 2 here, Jordan, to try to make it a 9-point game and really put the hurt on Villanova? A 2-possession game. I know there's still a lot of time left in this contest, but just getting momentum on your side and trying to take advantage of 4 turnovers today. If you don't do that, you go for the extra point.
The ruling on the field has changed. It is an incomplete
pass.
pass.
They're going to call it incomplete.
At the 31-yard line.
Wow.
Teacher always said go with your first answer.
Yeah, I'm talking about whether you're going for an extra point or 2, and they end up reversing the call here. So they're going to say that Watkins is trying to. I don't know about that.
Yeah, I disagree with that one as well. It looked like he initially tried to tuck the ball back after trying to toss it forward, and it got knocked out of his hand.
It came out of his hand. Yeah, that's if you're Walt Wells and Eastern Kentucky, that's can you see that exactly? That's
he's livid on the sideline too.
I think he. Yeah. Hard to say. I disagree with the way he feels over there.
And this is a G-rated program. We can't repeat some of the stuff he's saying on the sideline.
We keep the mics away from that. Now that's a little flip, and that works for Villanova. Look out, it's Abbott, and he gets across midfield and into Eastern Kentucky territory, and a flag comes in on the far side of the field, and I think that Walt Wells is still letting the official hear it, and they may tack on another 15 here. It was right in front of one of the officials. I saw the flag come down the far side. He just still infuriated over the last call and the reversal of a scoop and score. It's a first down, Villanova.
The play is a first down. After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct, Eastern Kentucky head coach. 15-yard penalty, first down.
Jordan, it's a game changer, okay? It's an absolute game changer. And you can understand how upset he is, because instead of it being a potential 8 or 9 point lead for his team, now Villanova's got a chance to take the lead as the clock is winding down here on the 3rd. Still a 1-point Eastern Kentucky advantage. 1st and 10 Wildcats at the Colonel 35. Watkins, he's sacked from behind, and the pressure from Darian Baker today. He has been all over the place. His 3rd sack of the season.
These defensive ends have done a great job of getting pressure on Connor Watkins this evening. The backside pressure right there from Darian Baker. Just a clean move from him in order to get the big sack right there for Eastern Kentucky.
That is the 3rd sack of the game for Eastern Kentucky. 2nd down and 17. Watkins, keeper, nothing doing there again. And Ryan Jackson and Jeremiah Bailey combined for the tackle for the Colonels.
Coming into it, we said this defensive front was the best part of their defense. They have shown up so far in this one. They're going to need them to continue to make plays if they want to slow down this Villanova offense.
First down markers at the 25-yard line. It is 3rd and 17. Speaking of 17, that's how many seconds are left here in the third. Watkins shotgun. Abbott to his right. 2 receivers to each side. 3-man rush for Eastern Kentucky. Watkins somehow gets out of it. Trying to get away from Baker. Throws the pass to the sideline. It's caught. And inside of the first down is Chris Colby. And Villanova is going to be right at the marker is where they spot it. And no signal of the first down.
That is the end of the third quarter.
That's the end of the third quarter. And Colby saying, please, throw me the ball, throw me the ball. Fourth quarter from Villanova when we come back. The NCAA FCS championship coverage here on ESPN continues from Villanova. Welcome back. And here's a look at the bracket. Incarnate Word, a bye in the first round, awaiting the winner here of Eastern Kentucky and Villanova next Saturday on December 7th. It's a 1-point game here as we welcome you back for the start of the fourth quarter. Mike Corey and Jordan Reed. It was a first down catch by Chris Colby of Villanova right at the end of the third quarter. Now Watkins, he goes to the end zone. And the pass is broken up, incomplete, off of Jaheim Ward. As they try to get it to Devin Smith, who already does have a touchdown catch today.
Once again, going with a post wheel concept, but Smith has to do a better job of just holding the line and giving the quarterback some room for error. Just too tight of a space for the quarterback to throw in, and a great play by number 9, Jaheim Ward right there.
Yeah, and able to look back right at the end, right, too, to avoid a potential interference.
Good call.
Yeah. There's your penalties. You see it, 9 for Eastern Kentucky, 6 for Villanova. 2nd and 10, Wildcats. Watkins with time, goes over the middle, it's broken up. Nice deflection by Mike Smith Jr. as they won at that time Jalen Sanchez. And now 3rd down and 10 for Villanova. Field goal from this distance, if they don't get anything, is going to be 43 yards. Ethan Getman on the season as long as a 42. He's also had 2 of them blocked as well. 3rd down conversions, you see, not that great for Villanova during the regular season, but 7 for 11 here today. 3rd and 10. Watkins. And that is high and almost incomplete, almost intercepted, I should say. It was off the hands of Kopecky. Nearly picked off. Wobbly ball.
He had his man, just got to get it down just a little bit. Big body receiver like that, like Kopecky, 6'3", 200 pounds. You want to put it up high, especially in the red zone like this, but he just put it up a little bit too high. It looked like the ball got away from him a little bit based on how it came out of his hand.
Timmy Ferguson a snap. Jack Ryder to hold, and Ethan Getman here for the field goal. This is going to be a 42-yard attempt for Villanova to take the lead, and it is good. And into the wind. And he ties a season long of 42 yards, and it's the Wildcats in front by 2 for the first time today. First lead tonight, so this is a huge opportunity for Villanova. Villanova's defense hasn't been in the position of defending points so far tonight, but as a defensive lineman, I love that because now I can pin my ears back knowing that they need points in order to beat me in this game. So let's see what defensive coordinator Ross Pennypacker does. Does he stay with a lot of man coverage, or does he continue to try to blitz Morrissey and force Eastern Kentucky to have success through the air in their passing game? Well, so far today, Eastern Kentucky with just 33 yards through the air. To your point, Jordan, 157 on the ground. But again, a lot of that came early on the second play of the day by Carter, who ran a 77-yard touchdown. So you got to hold on to the ball here first, and it's going to be picked up. And from the 30-yard line, Blake Howard gets taken down there, and Eastern Kentucky will have first down and 10 from the 30.
Get a flag.
And another flag. Man, this has been
We got another punch thrown by number 40 of Villanova.
And so that's Jason Hall, who was there on special teams for the Wildcats. We already had Trey Gooden, 26 for Eastern Kentucky, called for an unsportsmanlike and tossed from the game, throwing a punch after he was tackled down on a special teams play. What do we get here?
And it was the exact same gesture as what Gooden did to get ejected. So it'll be interesting to see what the refs decide here.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct, kicking team number 40. That 15-yard penalty will be added to the end of the play, first down.
You make a great point, Jordan. I want to see this here because you're right. I mean, you tossed Gooden earlier on kind of a punch, and then you just said you thought you saw it here this time on Jason Hall. So we'll see if we can assess what happened. We'll take a look at it in just a little bit because that's a big-time penalty as well, as it puts Eastern Kentucky up to their own 45-yard line. The give to Carter. No gain. Bell makes the tackle for Villanova, 28.
And Eastern Kentucky just has no answer for Villanova's edge pressure. All defensive coordinator Ross Pennypacker is doing is he's just sending pressure off of the edge and just trying to create or outnumber Eastern Kentucky's offense. They have not done a good job so far tonight of picking up that edge pressure or those blitzes off of the outside of the offensive line.
Second down and 10, Eastern Kentucky from the 45. Morrissey. Over the middle, it's almost intercepted. Tyrell Mims had a chance at it there, and it could have been a disaster for the Colonels.
Mims wanted that one badly, too.
Big third down coming up for Eastern Kentucky. Fourth quarter, a minute and 10 seconds gone by. Morrissey, not much happening in the pass game today. As you see the numbers, 4 of 16. They need something here. He lofts it up. It's caught. Big one. Carter on the catch. Has it at the Villanova 35-yard line. Brendan Bell makes the tackle. Longest pass play of the day.
And Villanova goes with what's called a two-man coverage here. So they keep two safeties on the top of the defense. Everybody else plays man coverage, but they lose sight of the running back Joshua Carter there. He goes up and he makes a great play in order to salvage the down.
That is a 20-yard pass play. He had 33 yards passing prior to that. 5 of 17 now for the game. Back to Carter as he goes up the middle, and he gets down to the 25-yard line of Villanova. Jalen Goodman on the tackle.
And Carter's starting to get warmed up here a little bit down the backstretch of this one. You better believe they're going to put the game in his hands. He is the engine of this offense, and he has not had a huge gain outside of the 77-yard touchdown we saw in the first quarter, but now he's starting to rev up that engine a little bit more here in the fourth quarter.
10-yard run. It's another first down at the Villanova 25-yard line. And Carter again. You had Morrissey after the handoff trying to get a block out there, and Bell is in there once again for Villanova, among others. It's going to be second down and about 9.
If you're Eastern Kentucky, you want to cut this in half somehow, some way. You don't want to face 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9. Those are the downs you don't want to live in. So if they can get it to 2nd and 3, 2nd and 4, it would be great for them. Of course, you want to get the first down, but you don't want to face 3rd and long here.
They are in field goal range here, down by just 2. 19-17, Villanova leads it here. Morrissey, deep drop, going end zone. Carter! He has it! And now incomplete. They'll say it hit the ground. Incomplete pass. Bell was there, laid a stick for Villanova. And Joshua Carter almost comes up with a touchdown.
Pass. He did not maintain possession of the ball, landed out of bounds. Third down.
It's a great stick by number 4, Jalen Goodman, coming over in coverage. He saved a touchdown there. Otherwise, would have been a great catch by Joshua Carter.
So he kind of rolls over there. The ball's in the ground.
Yep.
Yeah, and it was
great call by the ref.
Yeah, that was a really good call. Right, he was lined out of bounds there after he was able to corral it, and they were on top of that one. So now it's going to be 3rd down here for Eastern Kentucky. 3rd and 9 at the Villanova 24-yard line. Pressure. The pass is caught. Fumble. That's what they're ruling here. Now they're going to say incomplete. And there was a flag down as well. So potential holding here on Eastern Kentucky. Let's see what Villanova decides to do. Do they want to give them another?
Going on the field is a fumble recovered by the
now
defense.
They're going to say fumble.
Personal foul, face mask, offense number 70. That penalty will be declined. 1st down.
Wow. So they're going to say fumble and recovery by Villanova. One of the other officials is coming in saying incomplete. It's definitely a catch and a fumble.
It's clearly a fumble.
Yep. And recovered by Bell.
Who else, right? Brennan.
Right? And you heard the call, the penalty against Eastern Kentucky obviously declined. Villanova's got it back on offense. Welcome back. You had the strip by Richie Kimmel on the right and the recovery by Brendan Bell for Villanova after the catch and fumble here by Eastern Kentucky. There it is by Ron Van Jr. Knocked out. Bell recovers. It was a penalty on Eastern Kentucky. It was declined. Villanova takes over. 1st down and 10 from just inside their own 25-yard line. That's the first turnover, Jordan, for Eastern Kentucky here tonight.
And what has been the theme of the season for Villanova? Strong 4th quarters. That has continued in this one. Huge turnover for them, for that defense.
Mace on the carry. And the Colonels bring him down after a yard. Jeremiah Bailey, who's had a really nice game today and had a scoop and score that got reversed. And that's a big turning point in this game. It was a very contentious situation, especially over on the sideline. Walt Wells is called for unsportsmanlike, the head coach for Eastern Kentucky. And it went from what could have been a 7, 8, or 9-point lead for Eastern Kentucky. Villanova takes it down the field. They get a field goal to take the lead. They've got a 2-point lead now as Ragland carries for the Wildcats. Gets up to the 30-yard line. 1st down markers at the 34, and it's now 3rd down.
Interesting down for Villanova right here, with it being about 3rd and 5 or 3rd and 4. Here, do you run the ball? Do you give the ball to David Abbott, or do you end up trying to pass the ball here? If I had to guess, looks like they're going to have to beat man coverage right here. It's going to be cover 1, so somebody's going to have to get open.
Yep, playing right up at the line of scrimmage, and it's going to be a handoff, and it's going to be Ragland, and he's going to be taken down shy of the 1st. Darian Baker, number 3. He's also had a really good game today for Eastern Kentucky defensively.
Surprised that they went with the run there, just because of how well the passing game has worked so far in this quarter. But it seems like they were very confident that they could end up getting the 4 yards there. A quick 3 and out for Villanova right there, which is what they did not want. You don't want to give the ball right back to Eastern Kentucky. They were not able to take advantage of that huge momentum swing with the fumble.
Ethan Getman to punt. Jalen Montgomery for Eastern Kentucky back to return. He's standing just inside of his own 30-yard line. Getman gets it off cleanly. Fair catch called for and made by Montgomery at the 26. Eastern Kentucky hasn't won a playoff game since 1994. Trying to change that here today. Welcome back. The NCAA FCS Championship coverage continues next weekend with 2nd round coverage beginning on Saturday on ESPN+. For more information, visit ncaa.com, the home for all 90 NCAA championships. Walter Payton Award winners at Villanova: John Robertson in 2014, Brian Westbrook, former Eagle, 2001, and Brian Finneran back in 1997. 3 all-time greats for Villanova. The highest honor in FCS, the Walter Payton Award winner. Back to action here in the fourth. On the ground, it's Latham for Eastern Kentucky, and he gets up to the 33-yard line. First down markers at the 37. Potter on the tackle.
Good job by Latham staying patient right there. And he's had a productive night so far tonight with so much attention on Joshua Carter, and rightfully so. Latham's done a good job of coming in and making some plays in the running game, but it's the passing game that Eastern Kentucky needs to figure out a way to get on schedule here down the backstretch. They're going to need the passing game to pick up in order to win this one.
9 minutes to go in the contest. Second down. And Morrissey trying to get out and throw a block for Carter. And he's only going to get a yard, maybe two out of it. Tyrell Mims is there for the tackle for Villanova up at the 35-yard line. It's going to be 3rd and 2. Remember, this fourth quarter has belonged to Villanova over the last 7 games. They've now outscored their opponents, including tonight, 64-10 in the fourth quarter. And they're up by 2 here. 3rd and 2, Eastern Kentucky. Morrissey, pressure, throws it over the middle, it's caught, and it's a first down at the 40-yard line with Jaden West.
And they tried to blitz Morrissey right there, and they got caught. Nobody was over the middle of the field, and that's what happens a lot of times when you send a lot of pressure. You start to lose sight of players, but that's a good job by Morrissey right there, just having some type of positive yardage in the passing game to keep the drive going. That's exactly what Eastern Kentucky needed.
Hasn't been pretty in the pass game, but they're getting it done here now. 7-20 for 62 yards and a touchdown for Matt Morrissey. That's a big first to the 40. Carter stays in the backfield. Morrissey in the keeper. Carter's blocking in front for him. The quarterback across midfield. First down, a gain of 11 to the Villanova 49 before Ethan Potter makes the tackle.
Yeah, and I was waiting on them to do it just because they have not been accounting for Morrissey in the run game at all. So what happens is they've been playing a lot of cover 1 and cover 2 man. So when you play those type of coverages, you're not keeping sight on the quarterback. So a great answer right there by the EKU offensive calling the quarterback draw.
6 carries for 34 yards now for the quarterback, Matt Morrissey, for Eastern Kentucky. Pressure again, he gets hit and he gets rid of it, and it's incomplete. Looking for Calwise, and the coverage is there from Jalen Goodman, and the pressure from Chuck Smith for Villanova.
And this Eastern Kentucky offense, they're going to have to take a chance down the field eventually, just because Villanova's defense is starting to heat up and pressure Morrissey, knowing that they have to throw the ball in these long down and distance situations. So what I want to see them do is just try. Just chuck the ball down the field one time and just try and see what happens.
Yeah,
you have not done that at all. You haven't done it at all so far tonight.
Carter. Nice run, head down inside the 45, down to the 44-yard line. Ty Trent on the tackle for Villanova. It's a 5-yard gain. You saw the numbers here in this game. It's now just in favor of Eastern Kentucky. 254 total yards to 253 as we come up on 6.5 to play, and Villanova hanging on to a 2-point lead.
Another crucial third down here. They were able to get 3rd and 2 on the previous set of downs, now facing about a 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5 here. Crucial down for the EKU offense.
3rd and 5, Eastern Kentucky. Morrissey with time, sideline catch, no, dropped, incomplete. Looking for Schlachter, the tight end. They are going to elect to punt here with 4th and 5 at the Villanova 44-yard line and 6:11 to go in the game.
I would have been tempted to go for it here.
I was just about to ask you if you agree with the decision.
You're in their territory. This is right on that fringe mark of punt or field goal.
Jacob Baker. Nice kick. And it's going to go into the end zone. Almost. Down there was Cornelius Evans. Jackson House making it. He almost downed it. We'll be right back. Key play in this game here today. Frank Lee, the fourth, getting to quarterback Connor Watkins. It was a fumble picked up by Jeremiah Bailey, and he goes in for the touchdown. And that was the ruling on the field. Fumble, scoop, and score, and then they reversed it. And Walt Wells was irate, to say the least, and then was also flagged, as you see there. And instead of going up 7 and then either kicking an extra point to go up 8 or 2 points to potentially go up 9, that got taken off the board, and Villanova came down and got a field goal to take the lead, and that's where we stand. 19-17. Wildcats have it back. Abbott on the carry, breaking to the outside. First down, and gets up close to his own 40-yard line. Finally run out by Maddox Marcellus, and Villanova with a big run there, 15 yards.
Just a simple outside zone play there, but this is where you want to lean on your workhorse, and that's what David Abbott has been for this team so far this season. I expect him to get the ball a lot, and periodically down the backstretch of this one, you should be in no hurry if you're Villanova's offense here. Try to milk this clock as much as you can.
Check at 20 yards, excuse me. Now Ragland and Abbott are both in the backfield. It's a keeper, and a flag is down. 2 flags are down, so as Watkins keeps it, the flags are way back in the secondary area, and then 12 men on the field for Eastern Kentucky is our preliminary call here.
But the refs have to give Eastern Kentucky a chance to sub if Villanova subs.
Yeah.
Illegal substitution, 12 men on the field. Defense, 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
They're trying to get off the field. Let's see.
So David Abbott subs in there.
Okay.
Now the ref stands over the ball. They have to give Eastern Kentucky an opportunity, but they waited too late.
Yeah, there you see. They wanted to come on and. Yeah, I mean, if you're Eastern Kentucky over there when the ref not standing over the ball, you got to recognize that and just say, hey, guess I'm not going to get my guy in, because that was the ball was about to be snapped.
Just leave him off the field.
Yeah, it's tough. Abbott has it now after the 5-yard penalty, 1st and 5. Marcellus on the tackle will shut him down for no gain. Going to be 2nd and 5 here, but the clock is running. 4:45 here as Nova hangs on to a 2-point lead.
And they're about to enter what's called their 4-minute offense. So these are things that you rep every Thursday and Friday throughout the week. You have a certain package of plays that you want to run that you feel really good about. But what you tell the quarterback is don't be in a hurry here. We want to wind this clock down as much as we can. We have the lead. So just take it down as much as you can here.
2nd down and 4 as they gave him a yard to the 46-yard line. It's in the hands of Abbott again, and he breaks free. David Abbott into the secondary, tackle down to the 30-yard line. And it's a 1st and 10 for Villanova at the Eastern Kentucky 30. And an injured player down for Eastern Kentucky as well. It's Ryan Jackson, the one that's down. Big broken tackle there, Jordan.
Huge.
2 of them.
Huge. His 2 biggest plays of the night have come when he's been able to break tackles. And that's what he's been able to do to create some explosive plays in the running game for them. But once again, you don't want to be in a rush if you're Villanova. You want to wind this clock down as much as you can and don't give Eastern Kentucky another opportunity to catch up in this one. Ball security is job security.
Yes.
That's something that you hear a lot. They have not done a good job of taking care of the ball tonight, so you don't want to have an inopportune turnover in this situation either. So that's something that the offensive staff is preaching on the sideline to their players, the Villanova players right now. Make sure you have 2 hands on the ball when you come into contact and don't leave it exposed to any of the defenders, just because they're going to be trying to strip the ball out now.
Ryan Jackson is up. He's the injured player for Eastern Kentucky. Tackle was finally made by Braden Sullivan for this Colonel's defense after a gain of 24 yards by Abbott, who now has 15 carries for 82 yards in this game. And Villanova is set up with a 1st down and 10 at the Eastern Kentucky 30-yard line. So to the points that you're making there, Jordan, 4 minutes to go in this game. Each team has all 3 of their timeouts remaining. Imperative if you're Eastern Kentucky that you hold them to a field goal attempt, or you're really in a world of hurt, because the touchdown is going to make it.
Game. Yeah.
Yes, a 2-possession game with the extra point. They'd go up 9. No reason to go for two. 9 makes it a 2-possession game. So you're Villanova, you're trying to score and put this thing away. Eastern Kentucky trying to hang on and get this ball back and have a chance to win your first playoff game since 1994. Would be their first playoff road win since 1986. Mason Ragland in the backfield to the left and right of Watkins for Villanova here on 1st and 10.
Once again, what I talked about earlier in that 4-minute offense, as you can see Connor Watkins trying to wind that delayed game clock down to under 3 seconds every single play. Don't snap it before there's 3 seconds left on that delayed game clock.
Handoff goes to Ragland, and he got a couple yards to the 28. And Jordan, I agree with you. I mean, they snapped it with 10. You know, it's like, why even do that? Like,
yeah.
I agree 100% with what you're saying. It's like, take as much time off as you possibly can, and maybe you don't get up to the line as early, right? Because I know you don't want to have your guys in that stance, right, for like 20-something seconds, yeah. And risk false starting or anything like that. 2nd down here and 8. The clock is now under 3 minutes, and another flag comes in.
Wow.
Illegal substitution. Offense and 12 players in formation. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Yeah, Coach Mark Ferrante was upset there on the sideline for Villanova, too. He couldn't believe it. When we look at all these penalties today, that's now 18 penalties combined for these two teams. 10 on Eastern Kentucky and now 8 on Villanova.
But once again, there's no reason to pass the ball here. Just keep running the ball. Make EKU use their timeouts.
And if you're Eastern Kentucky and you hold them and they miss a field goal, it's still a 2-point game, and you got a chance to win it with a field goal. So there's a lot going on here on this possession. Ragland is in the backfield. He gets the call, and he's decked at the 31 by Darian Baker. Timeout here by Eastern Kentucky.
Which is the right decision. So what you're hoping is you hold them right here, and they're going to run it down. You actually get an extra timeout with the 2-minute timeout.
Eastern Kentucky, their first of the half will be a 30-second timeout.
To the bracket we go. Winner moves on to round 2
Please reset the game clock to 2 minutes,
of the 2024 FCS Championship. Incarnate Word is the number 6 seed, and they await the winner of this game here between these two, Eastern Kentucky and Villanova. They'll be at home. That's in San Antonio, Texas, next Saturday, December 7th, 3 o'clock Eastern. We'll have all the games for you here on the ESPN networks here in the FCS Championship. And this has been a wild one here today, to say the least.
Yeah.
We've had turnovers. We've had 3 turnovers by Villanova, 1 by Eastern Kentucky, 18 total penalties in this game. A lot of crazy plays, muff punts, safeties, fumbles, interceptions. We've seen a lot today.
Yeah, a roller coaster of emotions in this one. But what has held true for both teams is a strong showing from both defenses. I think both defenses have played really well after settling in after some explosive plays given up by both teams in the first quarter. Both teams are really settled in defensively.
This is huge. 3rd down and 11 for Villanova from the Eastern Kentucky 31-yard line. Watkins, pressure, chased, Darian Baker, Jeremiah Bailey, he gets away from both of them. Still with it, to the sideline, throws it, and it is caught! Villanova's got the catch. It's a 1st down. Lucas Kopecki, how did he do that?
Wow, Houdiniac here by Connor Watkins. Look at the arm angle and a great catch right there by Chris Colby. Those are the type of big-time plays that you have to make in order to win games like this. Excuse me, Lucas Kopecki there with the huge big-time catch there on the sideline for this Villanova offense. That's exactly what they needed. Now they can wind it down to the 2-minute timeout.
This is a 2-minute timeout.
An incredible catch by Lucas Kopecki on the sideline where Connor Watkins was running out of real estate. We've hit the 2-minute timeout, and Villanova leads by 2. (19-17) Villanova. 2 minutes to go in the 4th. It's going to be 1st down for Villanova after this awesome grab by number 16, Lucas Kopecki. And you see Watkins running out of time here on the sideline. Lucas Kopecki is a graduate student. This is his first year playing football. He's a fifth-year senior. He's a lacrosse player. He joined the team in the summer, ends up becoming a starter. He's the leading receiver in this game with 6 catches, and that one was huge. And now we've got a false start here, or legal procedure.
False start,
yep.
Offense number 16, 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Unbelievable for this Villanova team right now that just wants to try to seal this game here, Jordan, and then penalties among penalties. Teams hurting themselves. 9 penalties now for 89 yards for Villanova. Backed up to the 22. Remember, Eastern Kentucky still has 2 timeouts remaining. They try to hold them to a field goal attempt and get this ball back. Abbott carries, held up after a gain of 1, and now the pile moves forward, so he's going to get more out of it. Look at this, Abbott all the way down to the 16-yard line. Timeout, Eastern Kentucky. Marcellus finally.
Timeout, Eastern Kentucky, their second timeout of the half. Please reset the game clock to 1 minute, 47 seconds.
Finally made the tackle there, but that took up some extra time as well, too.
Good effort by Abbott and the offensive line here. You have to be careful in these big piles like this, just because you see big guys like Maddox Marcellus trying to strip it out. That's always what you worry about as a coach when guys are in those scrums like that. But you love the effort of these guys straining and fighting, and that's what it takes to win in an FCS playoff game.
Here's the situation. Minute 47 to go. Eastern Kentucky has 1 timeout remaining. Villanova has the ball at the Colonel's 17-yard line with 2nd down. Use another timeout for Eastern Kentucky, and then Villanova can wind this thing under a minute. Here's Watkins. He's going to keep, and they're ready for it. Nice tackle, Darian Baker this time for Eastern Kentucky, bringing them down for a loss and a timeout. That is their
Eastern
final
Kentucky,
timeout.
Their third and final timeout of the half will be a 30-second timeout.
And so the ball's at the 21-yard line now.
And that's one of those plays where you're frustrated if you're a coach. You want to tell your quarterback, just automatic handoff. I want the ball in the arms of our best player, David Abbott, and I don't want to risk, especially after what we've seen so far today with all the fumbles. I would rather have it in my running back's hands as opposed to the quarterback. And I know he was making the right read right there. It was his own read in the defensive end. Potentially crash right there on the running back. But what you tell the quarterback is it's an automatic handoff. Just give it to the running back so we can avoid any type of disaster.
Villanova's in the playoffs for the 4th time in the last 6 years. They're 6-0 at home this season. They've won 15 straight here at Villanova Stadium, trying to move on to the 2nd round. Eastern Kentucky looking for their first playoff win since 1994, and their first road win since 1986. 3rd and 14 Villanova from the 21-yard line here. Minute 43 to go. Eastern Kentucky out of timeouts. Handoff goes to Abbott. Still on his feet, finally taken down. And they're going to mark it at the 14-yard line. The clock will run, and then Villanova will call a timeout. They can let it run inside of a minute. It's about 57 seconds remaining, and then attempt a field goal. Or go for it on 4th down? I don't think so. Let's see. They're going to try to draw them. Now they will call the timeout.
Timeout, Villanova. Their first of the half will be 30 seconds.
I mean, nice try on the fake. I don't know if you'd go for it, obviously, Eastern Kentucky, and they could have used up more clock. Instead, they call the time with 1:04 remaining, and it's 4th down. So from here, a 32-yard field goal attempt, Jordan.
I'm laughing because Coach Ferrante, he just wants to avoid disaster altogether. And they potentially wanted to get a more 5-yard, even 5 more yards right there, potentially trying to make the other team jump. But he wanted to avoid being backed up or potentially an errant snap or anything like that. We saw it yesterday in the Chiefs and Raiders game. He wants to avoid anything like that in this potential situation.
Now here's Ethan Getman, who has hit earlier from 42, which tied his season long. This kick is up, and it is good from 31. And so Villanova has taken a 5-point lead with exactly 1 minute remaining in the game. And it's going to come down to this for Eastern Kentucky. A chance to break the streak of 8 straight playoff losses. They took 5:01 off the clock, Jordan. They're up by 5. Need a touchdown to win it here if you're Eastern Kentucky.
Yeah, you have to be aggressive going down the field, and this is a situation that is very foreign to them as far as in the passing game, just because they're not a true down the field, drop back, down the field passing game type of team. So I'm interested to see the sequence of play calling here from offensive coordinator Andy Richmond.
Montgomery back to return the Getman kick. It's a liner, goes off the turf, and he will get it here at the 20, 25, 30, sideline. Good return by Montgomery, and a flag comes in. It's a late hit. Unreal here by Villanova in this situation. Jalen Montgomery, and they're discussing it here. The flag thrown. Could this tack on another 15? What are you thinking, right, Jordan?
It looks like he was trying to avoid the contact and trying to
After
keep
the
him
play
from
was
bracing his
over,
fall.
personal foul, late hit out of bounds. Kicking team, number 9, 15-yard penalty, first down.
Tight trend there, and the late hit adds 15 for Eastern Kentucky. They're going to be in Villanova territory.
It wasn't egregious at all, just watching it live. But they're going to say he grabbed him and pulled him down after he was outside of the white lines.
Yep. 10 penalties now, 104 for Villanova, 10 for 86 for Eastern Kentucky. 54 seconds to go, they need a touchdown. From the 42, Carter on the handoff, up the middle he goes, Joshua Carter, 25 to the 23. Ethan Potter on the tackle. Clock stops at 47 seconds to move the chain. Eastern Kentucky is out of timeouts. Morrissey looking, throws it, Carter over the middle, he's got it, and gets down close to the 15-yard line. Samir Dawood on the tackle. Ball's at the 16, clock is running, 27.
They're not urgent enough. They got to pick up the urgency.
Down to 22 seconds to go. They finally get lined up, they snap it with 19. Morrissey, and he throws it away. Not a bad idea, right, Jordan?
Nope,
and you
not
were
at all.
saying that they were using up too much time.
So what happens when you run those deep routes down the field and you don't have any timeouts and the ball is still in play when you have that short completion? Now all those guys have to hurry back. And that's what happened on that last play. So not a bad idea there of him just chucking it out of bounds just so they can get a set play from the sideline.
Now it's 3rd down and 3. 15 seconds to go. Eastern Kentucky down by 5. They need a touchdown. Carter's in the backfield. Morrissey from the shotgun. 4 receiver set. Morrissey over the middle for the end zone. It's incomplete. It was Marcus Cowwise. He took a huge shot from Trent that knocked it out. And then a little activity at the end of the play. And do they get a targeting here, maybe? Let's see, they're discussing. I don't see any flags down.
Personal foul, targeting, number 9, the defense. That play is under further review.
My goodness.
What a game-changing play this could be if it is in fact targeting.
And then taunting, really, at the end of the play, Jordan.
This will be a better look here.
Unbelievable. That's crazy that he would do something like that. And this call is in question here, the targeting.
This is close. He got him with the side of his helmet, but he's leading with his shoulder. It's going to be really close.
Need the indicator, the launch, right? Any forcible contact to the head or neck area of a defenseless player.
That's exactly what they're looking at.
Is targeting, right? So that's what they're looking at here. And man, would that be huge.
Yeah, it would be.
Ty Trent would be
a huge loss for them, and the field position is completely different.
Well,
adding on 15 yards.
And it would give Eastern Kentucky a chance to win this game here. Amazing that it's come down to these final seconds in a game that has gone back and forth, up and down, left and right, with all the penalties, the turnovers. There was a call that Eastern Kentucky had a scoop and score that was overturned and called back. Then an excellent kickoff return by Montgomery, helped out by a 15-yard penalty for a late hit, put him right into Villanova territory, and now you might have this targeting. And Ty Trent, that's going to put him out of the game, give them a 1st and goal, and have probably at least a couple of shots to the end zone.
Yeah, maybe have 2 plays with 10 seconds left, but also if they do in fact win this game, they're going to be missing a key starter next week if they do end up
for the first half.
The first half.
We are ready for the call.
After review, there is no foul for targeting. It is 4th down.
All right. So, Eastern Kentucky has one more chance here where they got to get the first down. They can get a first down if they use the sideline and still have a chance to go to the end zone. So this doesn't have to be the final play if you're them, but you got to go quick and you got to get to the sideline. 4th and 3. Not sure if you'd have enough time to get up and spike it if you did get a first. So now Villanova calls a timeout.
Villanova, the second of the half. It'll be 30 seconds.
A little bit of gamesmanship right there by offensive coordinator Andy Richmond, just because he wanted to see the defensive set that they would come out in versus a potential play that he was going to call right there.
Are you okay with the no targeting there, more on the shoulder side of things? Right.
It was, like I said, it was a bang-bang play. It wasn't egregious to me. It looks more so like he led with the shoulder as opposed to the crown of his helmet.
But it's also where he got him, too. Yes. They're saying they got him more on the shoulder area. If it was up in the head and neck area, that's...
Which, if you're looking at it in real-time speed, it looks like potential targeting.
4th down and 3 here. Can you get to the sideline? What are you looking for here, right?
A potential quick out by a slot receiver. You don't want the ball to go into the middle of the field unless you're going to the end zone. Now, you can go to the end zone, but you have to make sure that you get to the end zone. You can't stop short of the end zone because you're not going to get another playoff.
4th down and 3 for Eastern Kentucky. 10 seconds to go. Morrissey, sideline, catch is made, and going out of bounds is Joshua Carter. He's got it for the first at the 10-yard line. And 6 seconds remain on the clock. Well-designed play by the Colonels, and they still have a chance.
Which is exactly what you want. Now, what Morrissey cannot forget here is that he can be a runner and use his legs to get into the end zone. He's had some success running the ball, so don't forget that you can get the touchdown with your legs if you don't see anything open. The one thing that you cannot do is take a sack. Give yourself and your team a chance to go win the game.
And Villanova's going to use their final timeout.
Villanova, their 3rd and final timeout, 30 seconds.
And that'll also give Eastern Kentucky a chance to figure out here this play on 1st and goal from the 10-yard line with 6 seconds remaining. And how about Joshua Carter and what he's done this year? 3 straight weeks has helped this team even get to this position. This against Tarleton State late in the game. 23-yard run, deciding plays. Eastern Kentucky wins this game 17-13. Then they took on Central Arkansas. 3-yard run to win it 31-24. And then versus Austin Peay in overtime. Carter with a 23-yard touchdown, wins it on the last play, 30-27. Eastern Kentucky. They've won 5 games decided by 11 or less this season. Now here we go with first and goal. Jordan, 6 seconds left.
Every play caller on their play sheet, they have a little corner at the top of it. Game-winning plays. You have to find a game-winning play. I'm either going to Marcus Cowwise or Joshua Carter.
Morrissey, do they have it? This is the final play. Roley looking, end zone. It's caught. No, they're going to say out of the back of the end zone. Incomplete. It was caught by Jackson House. He thinks he's got the touchdown. They say he was out. Catch was made out of bounds. They're going to review it. Final play for Eastern Kentucky. If it stands, no catch, Villanova wins it 22-17. If it's reversed, it's Eastern Kentucky with the win.
Rolling on the field is an incomplete pass that has been confirmed by replay. That is the end of the game.
Villanova wins it 22-17, and it came down to the final play of the game.
Wow, what a game. What a game. Villanova took them the entire 60 minutes, but they were able to pull it off. Jackson House just can't lose sight of where he was in the back of the end zone right there. He's literally a toenail away from winning this one.
Here it is.
Great job on Morrissey staying or getting outside of the pocket. Jackson House just loses sight of where he is in the back of the end zone, and he tries to drag his feet, but he is already out of bounds. You just can't lose sight of where you are on the field right there, but that was a great job by Morrissey giving himself a chance. Just a toenail away from advancing to the next round in the FCS playoffs. Wow, what a game.
A couple of inches was the difference today for the Villanova win, and Eastern Kentucky, who has now lost 9 straight in the postseason, and their bid to stop the streak since 1994, their last playoff win, they won't be able to do it. And Villanova is going to move on to round 2 with the win here today at home, 22-17. And this game had a little bit of everything. There's no doubt, almost, fitting the amount of reviews, the penalties, the turnovers. And somehow the Wildcats sneak away with a 5-point win. They outscored Eastern Kentucky 22-3 after going down 14-0 to start the game. They get back-to-back playoff wins here. First time since 2009, 2010. 2009, they won the national championship. And they go on to take on Incarnate Word next Saturday, December 7th, on the road in San Antonio, in a game that we'll have for you on ESPN, our networks, at 3 o'clock Eastern time. Rhode Island also a winner today. They advance from the first round with a win over Central Connecticut State. Jordan, this one was crazy.
2 very evenly matched football teams, and it literally came down to the very last play of the game. The difference in today's game, turnovers was a big one. Special teams play or opportunities was another, but the play of these defenses, I want to give credit to both of these defenses. They were absolutely outstanding today.
Villanova head coach Mark Ferrante joins us now. Coach, man, this was a wild one. Where do you begin to describe your team's resilience to be able to come back and win this one today?
I got to start with the defense, obviously, the way they played all year for the most part. And obviously, I got to tip my hat to Ethan Getman kicking those 2 field goals into the wind. Wind was a factor in some of the stuff today, not too much in some of the other stuff as far as the pass game, but to put those through the pipes, and they missed one earlier in the game going in the same direction. So, hey, just fortunate to come out with the victory on this one.
Coach, you guys obviously get to advance on to the next round, but a lot of things to clean up, specifically the turnovers. For today, that was very uncharacteristic of you guys. But what do you tell these guys when you go back into the locker room that you're looking forward to next week?
Well, here's what I got to tell them today. Enjoy the victory. They got 24 hours to enjoy the wins, or obviously if we come up on the short end, get that one behind you, especially when you're going to the next one. But we got to clean up the penalties as well as the turnovers. Those are some things that really hurt us today and put us in harm's way, gave them a short field and on the turnover, and then the penalties gave them extra yardage for them to get down as close as they did just down that last drive with the opening, with that last kickoff penalty on the sideline. So got to clean up the turnovers and penalties, and you don't win many games when you lose a turnover battle like that. When you have 4, we're fortunate enough to come out on top. So we'll count our blessings today, enjoy the victory, and then we definitely got to get back to work tomorrow.
Coach, you've been a part of all of Villanova's FCS playoff appearances, the run, the national championship in 09. You know, what is it about your experience and things that you can draw on that you can also pass on to this team to try to make another run at it? Because you never know, and you've had the experience in doing it.
Yeah, the key usually is staying healthy, and we're relatively healthy from that perspective. But bottom line is we just got to play a cleaner game. We weren't very fundamentally sound today in some situations, and like you and I just talked about, you got to protect the football. So when we have had the opportunities to make some of those runs that we've had in the past, we stayed healthy pretty much throughout the year, and we have protected the football. So that's where we got to start.
Coach, thanks so much for your time. We appreciate it. Congratulations on this win, and best of luck next week in San Antonio.
Appreciate you all. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. All right, Mark Ferrante, head coach for the Villanova Wildcats, as they win it 22-17 over Eastern Kentucky to advance to round 2. Jordan?
Heck of a game from both of these teams. It literally came down to the very final play and a toenail in the back of the end zone. Exactly what we were expecting from a defensive perspective. 2 of the best defenses in the FCS, and I thought both played really well tonight. 2 evenly matched teams that came down to literally the very last second in this one.
Great job. Great work with you, my friend.
Thanks as always.
That's going to do it for us.
You
Our
too.
stat spotter, Ken Benowitz. Our producer, Waz. Our director, TJ McGinnis, with David Barlow. Thanks to Garrett Rain, Carl Cronenberger, audio with Stephanie Weber, and many others helping us out on a great day today from Villanova. For Jordan Reed, Mike Corey saying so long from Villanova Stadium. Thanks for watching. The Wildcats move on to round 2 with this win, 22-17 over Eastern Kentucky. Have a great weekend, everyone.